I can't see you live.
You don't see nothing live yet.
Oh, there we go.
Of course you do.
There we go. I got you now.
We're looking beautiful out here. And it's good to be back, man. So y'all know what time it is.
The following is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
It feels good to be back, people. It's a wonderful Sunday. I got my man Spark 117. I got my man, the realest one, V Records in the building. And I know it's been a while, but it's been a lot of work going on throughout these weeks. And Di-RRec Gaming had to get a new makeover. And so it just feels good to be back, man. There's a lot of stuff to get ready to get talking about, and I just can't wait. But I'm gonna let these guys go first. I'm gonna let these guys go first for a little bit. Let them bounce around, and then the servings are gonna come because I got a lot. I got about 2 weeks of just things I want to talk about because what's transpiring right now is just insane. And it's not like anybody didn't tell nobody anything, right? It's not that. It's just the fact that things are starting to happen. And the only thing people can do now is either play it off or do irrational things. And I told y'all that before everything falls apart, you'll begin to see this irrational movement that starts to happen. Like all the common sense leaves the atmosphere. And you'll see people desperately try to make a last second attempt to make sense out of the PlayStation brand. But people to no prevail, it's just not going to work. Because the empire of poorness is something Sony created a long time ago. And that donkey community is embedded into that. Sony, it's your fault that your fan base acts the way it acts now. And the very thing that you've been trying to do to hold on to them, you need them more than ever, and now they're letting you down. You need these game sales to keep your perception up, and it's not working. You need these console sales to keep that perception up, and it's not working. See, we can no longer blame COVID because that's been 2 years ago. We've long been out of COVID. It's something deeper that's going on with the donkey community. It's something deeper, people. And it's just something that doesn't make sense. But people, we're back. I'm gonna put out the signal. We here. And let me put this signal out. Because, man, I owe it to them. And if we don't do anything but speak the language, we're going to come with the truth. We're going to come with the truth because it's all we got. I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to regurgitate. I'm not here to bird feed nobody. But Di-RRec Gaming is a table with infinite seats for Xbox fans. First, we built the stadium, we put the jerseys on, and we built this arena of stands. And we got people out here that can look from afar. We got the front row seats because this is what we do. We got a responsibility, people, and we come to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me gaming. Yo, listen, I go by the name of the New Legal, and this is Di-RRec Gaming. I'm glad to be here. I got Spark 117, like I said. The mighty chat Pat is in the building, Mr. V Records. I got the realest one, spinning them wheels. He's out there working, but he's always here. He's always watching, always lurking. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting this channel as long as you have. Special shout outs to you. Shout outs to those who told me to get the membership up. I finally did it, y'all. Listen, you know, I finally did it. It's not something that I really get into, but I did it. For those that want to become the members here, hey, have at it. Knock yourself out. Enjoy the things that we offer to the table. But now that I got that introduction out of the way, people, we're slow cooking today. So don't even worry about it. Don't even think for a second we're leaving anytime soon. This is about to get real rocky. But at the same time, we're about to say some truths here. So first of all, people, to understand what you're seeing today, you got to understand the past. You got to go back to the beginning. And you got to understand that Sony created this atmosphere long time ago. But let's lie for a minute and say that PlayStation was created for the games. Let's just lie for a minute. And even if it was the movie sections that took over PlayStation. The almighty PlayStation 2 became the biggest DVD player known to mankind. Movies began to run rapid on it. And that console sold its butt off. PlayStation 3 was too expensive, and the herd of donkeys migrated over to Xbox 360. Begging for anything to happen to get them back over there, Xbox dropped the ball with the Xbox One. Microsoft came out and just ran a campaign that was just so stupid that, you know, a 3-year-old could have did a better job. A 3-year-old could have done a better job. They dropped the ball so severely that it gave them PlayStation fans a reason to abandon Xbox. They were suffering hard on 360, y'all. And so with that, with the help of the media and the propaganda, they went on a campaign to make everything Xbox did look bad for 10 years. It was a horrible, horrible situation for Xbox fans all across the world. But when you think back, 60 million Xbox Ones were still sold in this world. 60 million. Now, if you was listening to the media, you would have thought Xbox didn't sell no more than 35 million consoles. Because the media was saying PlayStation was outselling Xbox 3-1. There had been no way you thought Xbox One sold 60 million. No way. It shocked the hell out of me. So I learned something, that the media will say anything, just like it's saying what it's saying now. They just came out and said that Xbox just sold 30 million consoles. But we knew that was a lie because during the ABK deal, Xbox was already at 29 million. We saw in the files that the first year sold what? I'm talking about the all-around year, not just that first year, not just a few months, but the overall year, 10 million. Then you might have had another 10 million, and then you had, well, we knew it sold more. Oh no, my fault. That first year, Microsoft hit what, around 12 million. Microsoft hit 12 million with the Xbox. That was a known fact. Then it hit 9 million, then it hit 9 million. So if you add that up, that's almost 30 million right there. We're just now getting wordplay from the media that Xbox just sold 30 million. So you know it's a joke. Shout out to my man Astro Gaming. What's good, baby? We know it's a joke. Get everybody up in here, man. We're sorry for taking y'all so long to return, but we were under construction. But we here. Xbox is on its way to be healthy. With all the crazy stuff going on in the world, you got Game Pass. Everything that Microsoft did was for the good of gaming, and it's paying off for them. While back in the day, when the services were running rapid, Xbox Live, we had to pay for it. We was paying about roughly around $40-some then. But Xbox fans didn't mind paying for it because of the stability, because of the infrastructure, because of the quality. But I remember when we would ask those donkeys back then, why are you playing on that dog crap service? Why y'all put yourselves through that? And their statement would be, because it's free. The establishment of being poor started way back then on PSN. Now fast forward. Sony created PlayStation Plus in 2010. So it's been out a little over 14 years, people. Can't make this up. And when you ask them, what are you paying for it now? Because nothing has changed. A few upgrades there, a few upgrades here. That's about it. It's the same infrastructure. Nothing really has changed. And they're paying the same amount that we're paying. Make it make sense. On top of that, Sony changed up their format like Xbox and made tiers out of it. But here's where things starts to change between PlayStation gamers and Xbox gamers. PlayStation gamers prefer their lowest tier of Game Pass, of PlayStation Plus, while Xbox fans prefer the Ultimate tier, which is Game Pass Ultimate. So right there, we're not the same. About 80% have Ultimate. 60-something% have the lowest tier. Because then you have like 20-some% on the middle, and you barely have anybody at the top tier. I've already given the numbers out. I will not repeat that again. And then you move along and you see that they came out with the PlayStation 5, which was a lying-ass console. And I told you, the irrationality is going to start. You had Jim Rock coming out trying to talk big and bad about it. We believe in generations. It wasn't a month later. We don't believe in generations. All it took was 4 weeks later, and the whole conversation had changed. Because what Jimmy found out was there's something wrong with the base. They haven't bought the PlayStation 5s like we thought they were. That was the first answer to the beginning of what you see today. The switcheroos had to start because its own base didn't believe in the next generation console. Its own base didn't. And as time went by, you noticed out the gate that there was something strange going on this generation. Games were not selling. And as big and bad as the donkey try to hide behind the mighty game awards that pampered them, we knew they wasn't buying these games because we saw the numbers for Ratchet and Clank. We saw the numbers for Returnal. Something isn't right. We saw how their games are not strong enough around these almighty third-party games. We saw what happened to Forbidden West when it dropped around Elden Ring. And Elden Ring ripped not just one, but two PlayStation exclusives as Gran Turismo 7 got its ass ripped to shreds in the second week. We witnessed this. And we saw the devs from Guerrilla Games come out crying. There's nothing to cry about because like my great comrade below me, the realest one, and his extraordinary comment what told us a long time ago that Sony doesn't like to compete. And I thought about it because there's a few other things he says that sticks like glue. And quite frankly, I never heard it anywhere else. Some of these historical comments, like big bank takes little bank, like they'll all fail you, like Sony doesn't want to compete, etc., 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 come from some fine, extraordinary gentlemen around here in these Xbox streets. Those that don't give you the 75% of noobs, but those that are going to give you the 100%. And over here in Di-RRec Gaming, we relish the fact that we do 100% over here because we ain't bound. We're not trying to be something we're not. Our aim isn't trying to be editors. Our aim isn't trying to be anchors or celebrity YouTubers, content creators. Listen, we're over here because we're just gamers that decided to bring the atmosphere of the Xbox chat that you would normally hear on Xbox to YouTube. Shout outs to Mike, Johnson. We're here because we can be. This Di-RRec Gaming is a celebration of those who don't have a platform. We do this for them. That's been the echoes of Di-RRec Gaming since day one. When the glory days were on Mixer, Di-RRec Gaming is built off of all the assets that Xbox could possibly make. It's Xbox birth, it's Xbox green, it's Xbox streets. You see this lack of demonstration that the donkeys can no longer do because we told them a long time ago they don't buy games. But see, everybody pampered them. You even see Metro from the UK lying about Astro Bot. Listen, be truthful, man. Just be truthful. Nobody was going to spend that kind of money for Astro Bot. I remember when Game Shield said, yo, man, listen. I said, Astro Bot's going to sell, man. He told me, no, it ain't legal. I said, yeah, it is. I said, he said, well, why do you think it's going to sell? I said, because it's going to go for $39.99. He said, he started laughing. I said, what? It's a $39.99 game. Are you telling me that Sony's going to sell it for $60 and up? Because if that's the case, then by the looks of things, we got a paper trail. And if we're going to go by the paper trail, if Sony dares to go against the paper trail, then yeah, nobody's going to buy the game. Here we have to this day, we get 1.5 million copies sold. Flopped. 61 million consoles in stores. You know, we don't want donkeys to think that stuff actually went to their homes. But it's in stores, which means they're just sitting up on shelves. And you mean to tell me 1.5% to 2% of the gamer base bought this first party game that's a single player game? So once again, once you bought it and you played it, it's done. And Sony still hasn't learned that. They have, but there's really nothing they can do. So Astro Bot was just a gimme. It was a gimme because they had something that they could brag about. And once again, it fell to the lies. Here's the first lie. Mario Killer. There was nobody on God's green earth that believed that bullshit. First of all, it's got to sell 12, 13 million copies. Where's the paper trail for that?
Zero.
We don't have a paper trail like that. So we knew right then that was comedy. Then it comes out and they say, oh, look, this game is Gotti. We laughed at that. You know why? Because 2D scroller games or 3D virtual / every now and then 2D gameplay don't win Gottis. No 7-hour game wins Gottis. It ain't a game that copies and pastes as hard as it did on Mario Brothers win Gottis. So we knew that was another desperation attempt just to get the conversation circulating around Astro Bot. We knew what the business was, but there was something that told us it just wasn't doing too good because Sony didn't come out bragging about it. We waited on the 30. We waited on the 24-hour. We didn't hear nothing. We waited on the 48-hour. We didn't hear nothing. When you didn't hear nothing within the first 72 hours, you knew it had flopped. It's just that simple. When the charts came out, it landed somewhere in 30s. And then when people got their paychecks, they bought it, and it only got up as high as 15. We knew it was going to flop. So here we are today, still playing games with PlayStation, because now PlayStation dropped the PlayStation 5 Pro. And here it is. If you buy just one game, like Spark117 and Rilla said, just one game when we were dissecting this thing weeks ago, it's $800. $800 for a mid-gen console.
$950 in Canada.
Right. Say that again, Spark117?
$950, 9 plus taxes in Canada.
And in
No
Australia,
stand.
facts. And in Australia, where our homeboy Jerome lives, Jeremy Merchant stays, it's $1,000. What was one of the things they lied about? Oh, it's as powerful as the 4090. Oh, this thing is going to be RDNA 3. The problem with Sony products is that I've always said this, and you see how they're living up to one of my oldest sayings before anybody knew me. I used to walk up in GameStop and say, who's ready to lie to me about PlayStation so they can sell it to me? Now, y'all thought I was lying when I used to say that? You can't sell me a PlayStation unless you lied to me about it. What are they doing? What are they doing today? Over 25 years later, realize what are they doing to the PlayStation? Lying about it.
Still lying.
Still, realize you can't make this up, famo. And so a guy like me, I just laugh because I saw this coming. I saw this coming one day because I did my research long time ago, Dev Silo. I did my research and I realized, famo, that companies have a 20 to a 25 run. That's it. They don't get no more than that. And Sony is in its last years of running this. I don't lie to these donkeys. I've been telling them for years, your time of galloping and hitting them dirt roads, grabbing them carrots and hay bales are about over with. You're going to have to make a decision now on playing these damn service games because you guys, that's right, Dev Solo, as long as you know me, I'm consistent. I ain't changed up. I ain't changed my narrative because my narrative is going to hold true. They got to make a decision. Either I'm going to stay on PlayStation and play these damn service games because those single player games are about to be dead. Why is that legal? Because them single player games don't bring home the wallet, realists. Everybody understands now. Now they can't hide from it because what has happened? The prices are up now. You just saw what it cost Sony to do Concord. That PlayStation 4 game, let's be serious, 8 years in the making. So that means it was a PlayStation 4 game. PlayStation 4 game, Cygnus. And Sony didn't have the nerve to tell his fan base about it. They kept it hidden. They dropped this game out thinking that the PlayStation fans, for once, I have to say, this is one rare time when the PlayStation fans took a stance and didn't take the BS. I give credit where credit was due. But what got me, PlayStation fans, what got me, Cygnus, was this. When you guys spoke boldly about it, people acted like they ignored y'all and blamed Xbox fans. Like we are the reason Concord has failed. All you got to do is go up on Twitter X and go back and look at some of these influencers' comments. They said things like this. Y'all just want the game to fail. Who are you talking to? Y'all just want the game to fail. You can't be talking about Xbox people or Nintendo people. You can't be talking about PC people because it's a PlayStation game. So how would that make any sense, telling PlayStation fans that they just want their own game to fail? That doesn't make any sense. The problem was y'all was willing to ignore the facts about the game. And when PlayStation fans and just gamers in general were trying to let people know, no, this is why it's failing, they didn't want to listen. They didn't want to listen. And so now, what do we have? We have another situation. Because now they got to lie about Astro Bot. So you see, it's a circulation of consistency of lies. Now, PlayStation 5 Pro, they're lying about. Just the other day, Digital Foundry came out and made a video about it. They were doing an unboxing, which was one of the most hilarious damn things to watch on the face of the planet. And as they were unboxing it, you had Linneman who couldn't even open it up from the front. He was accidentally opening it up from the back. You had Ledbetter acting as if the console wasn't as big as the original PlayStation 5, and he stood them side by side. It was one of the most funniest things to watch. Jago, what's good? And then you saw him without any testers, say that it runs quieter than the original PlayStation 5. Okay. Wasn't long shortly after that, Austin Evans got his video up. And he did a similar breakdown. He did a more thorough breakdown. During this time, Austin Evans' video's up. Strangely, Digital Foundry's video got yanked and went into private mode. Because in Austin Evans' video, we PlayStation 5 Pro greatness, 8K games popping up left and right, like on the 2024 No Man's Sky. Yeah, you believe that? I have a bridge in the sky for sale. But you got them saying, you got Evans saying the PlayStation 5 Pro runs louder than the PlayStation 5. So once again, people, once again, you got the Pro with no games. You got people lying on a PlayStation product again. And once again, you got PlayStation fans being quiet about their loud ass console. Now, you remember what I used to say, realist? As we speak, bro, there's a PlayStation fan who's playing it off that his damn console is just loud. Can you imagine playing a video game and your console is just loud? And we're in 2024, really, and Sony still hasn't been able to make a console that's quiet, Jago. We're in 2024. Jago says the most played game on PlayStation right now is an Xbox game called Call of Duty. Facts. While Astro Bot ain't even on the top, ain't even in the registration of games. It ain't even charted anywhere. It's not a lie. We seen it. It's loud. You can't tell the difference because your ears don't calculate the decibels. All you know is it's loud, and you're on here saying it's not as loud as the PlayStation 5. You don't know no better. All you ever known is a loud console.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, man. They used to play in the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro.
That's right.
PlayStation 5 is quiet to them now.
Exactly. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it is to have a quiet console. PlayStation has not been the home of COD. You lying now. You dudes don't know how to tell the truth, do y'all?
No, let that be the truth, because PlayStation being the home of COD is the reason for Sony struggles.
All right, talk about it, realist. What's up?
Nah, you keep going.
Oh, okay, because I'm cooking. I've been sitting back here watching, ready to. All right, Mike Johnson, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and make a video out there, man, and prove us all wrong, all right? I'll believe you then, and I'll admit that I was wrong, okay? And I will hit Austin Evans up and say, man, you lied. We got Mike Johnson out here with a tester, and he says you're wrong. Look. Famo, I'll put it like this. PlayStation numbers might be high, but it's not higher than Xbox and PC. That's a fact. Xbox people are playing the Vault Edition, while PlayStation fans are just playing the Standard Edition. We know they're not out here buying the Vault Edition. And they're not out here playing it as many people on Game Pass. So they might have some physical copy sales. Nobody said that. But as far as more players, no, it's not happening. That report has already came out. That's right. 4 years later, Nene29 says, PlayStation 5 Pro finally caught up to the next-gen features Series X and S has since day one. Now, let me stop you there, Nene. You want to know what's funny? That's partially true. That's what's funny, because the PlayStation 5 Pro couldn't even keep the features that came along with the PlayStation 5. The Pro is lacking in features. They did not make the rest mode work. So guess what? When PlayStation fans cut their games off, they got to start back over. That mode died. You know why? Because they lied about it. They lied about it. That's physical. Cygnus, we don't do physical. We don't do physical. It's an Xbox game, so no matter where it go, Xbox is winning. It doesn't matter what he playing it on. It's Microsoft's own. Use your same rationality for Minecraft and see if that gets you anywhere. The checkmate has already begun to happen. Call of Duty is the checkmate for PlayStation. That's it. PlayStation fans will forever make the bank a great situation for Xbox moving forward, because we all know that Call of Duty, the third-party game that belongs to Microsoft, is what funds everything out here as far as shooters concerned. We all know this. So to try to twist and turn it, Xbox fans really could care less how many of y'all playing it. It's the #1 game on your console. The #1. I don't even think you got a exclusive in your top 15. That's not the reason. That was the lie. That was the myth. That's not the reason why people buy a damn PlayStation. So that was a big pimp move by Microsoft to get the ABK deal. Because everybody knows it's services that's going to move this thing forward. That's why Microsoft came out and told everybody that they lost 6 million in physical sales, but they made over $920 million off of service fees alone. So when you added that up, it was a no-brainer for them to put COD on Game Pass day one. That's just smart business. That's just something that PlayStation can't do. That's why y'all still don't have no first-party games on your PlayStation Plus, which is why PlayStation right now is having a hard time selling it to you. That's why none of you guys have the top-tier brand, top-tier of the PlayStation Plus. You don't have that. You don't have that. That's right, Sanchez. The PlayStation 5 Pro is flopping like Astro flop face, green smile. Exactly. We laughing at any one of y'all saying that damn game so well it didn't hit expectations. Hey, you talking about a Gotti. A Gotti don't sell 1.5 copies. You fail at your own attempts. There's no Gottis out here selling 1.5 copies. Nowhere. Facts. The scalpers had to put a hold on. This is all facts. They selling it cheaper because you can't make sense out of it. You can't make sense out of it. And watch, they're going to jailbreak the Pro too. They're going to jailbreak it. Just like they jailbroke every other PlayStation console. They're going to jailbreak this one. So really, man, it's been a blast sitting out here watching people cap for Sony. When Sony themselves have told y'all, y'all hate this guy, but he's out here putting it to y'all. He's dropping them dimes. He's dropping them assists every single day. This guy said this, those gates much earlier than we did. Toki then refers to Sony as a Illinois organization and suggests it perhaps needs to go beyond the boundaries of these organizations in terms of development and also sales. All you guys up here that keep parading, you guys are the problem. You guys are the problem. Y'all ain't buying these games. Sony is dead last in profit. These are truths. So no matter what y'all say, it ain't doing any good. Y'all are just up here putting graffiti on walls. That's all y'all doing. Trying y'all best to keep stuff on them walls to stay for years to come. But the problem is, Sony's got to say bye-bye to y'all. Y'all ain't good enough anymore. Sony's got to go bye-bye to y'all because y'all don't pay to play them games. What y'all like to do is say false narratives. What y'all like to sit up here and do is tell people that Astro Bot sold well when we see them numbers. What y'all like to do is try to make the PlayStation 5 Pro look like it's something when we saw that it's exposed and it's still running hot.
What about that uproar about PlayStation still harassing PC gamers to link their accounts to a PlayStation account so they could play all these games there? None of them are talking about that yet. They went silent on that.
They can't help it, Jago. They gotta lie, bro. It's in their nature, famo. It's in their nature. They because they've been lied to for so many years. This is them proving my point. Sam Chance, this is them proving my point, fam. I don't lie about these donkeys. Facts. Lena Khan was their protector. She's gone. She was their protector. Look at everybody that's ever tried to pamper for Sony. Look at it. They've all failed. All the way to Jim Ryan. Every one of them. From Andrew House, Kazgaraj, what's his name? What's the guy? Sean Layden, Jim Ryan, where are they? They nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. These PlayStation guys don't even know the two CEOs' names, probably. They probably know the one guy from Guerrilla Games, and that's it. They probably don't even know the other dude's name. That's how disenfranchised they are. They're over here capping for some stuff they don't even know nothing about.
They probably don't even know Herman Holt's name either.
I'm being for real. I'm being real. It's just too funny, bro.
Hey,
they
know Bobby Kotick and Tim Sweeney.
Facts.
Major shout out to Kojima releasing Death Stranded on Xbox. Buy it up
Facts.
50% off. And shout outs to Halo. Happy 20th anniversary, Halo 2.
Facts. All this good
Xbox is
news
killing
out
it,
here.
man. Xbox is killing it, man.
Xbox
They
is killing it.
released digital Series X, all white, beautiful, chic. Have fun with your digital gaming library. Another spatial Galaxy Black Xbox Series X with 2 terabytes. Go and have fun. We're set. Our chipset is set. Velocity. We're good. We're good. We're eating good. The only
Spartan,
shout
you didn't
outs
have to
is
do them like that. You didn't have to do them like that, Spartan.
well, it's Christmas, man.
You got
Stalker
folks
2
out here
coming
putting
out.
up. You got folks out here putting up boxes of PlayStation 5. They done told their friends who actually bought it, can I get the box so I can take a picture of it and say, oh yeah, I can't wait to unbox it. Metroplex, that's what they doing online now. They going out here getting boxes of their friends and taking it home and want to really show you the box. They don't want to show you that they open it up, realist. They don't want to have the console sitting outside the box, Jago. But they want to take a picture of the box and put it on the table and say, I got it.
Stalker 2.
They don't want to open it up.
Microsoft Flight Simulator next week. You got Indiana Jones on the 8th of December. We're loaded for Christmas. And
we got what's it called?
On the other side.
Genshin? What's it? Genshin?
That
Genshin, right?
Genshin Impact.
There we go. We got Genshin Impact on the 20th of this month.
Yeah,
All I'm saying is this. Xbox has the games, man. Everything is next gen. Everything solidified. There was no gimmicks with Xbox from the start. When they said 12 teraflops, they meant it. There's 13 teraflops actually. 12 is that's it. 12 is stabilized. We have everything compatible. Our PC chip to our graphic boards, it's all compatible.
We've gone through our evolution right now with
we got 2 motherboards.
Console.
We got 2 motherboards. Everything's compatible. Everything is RDNA 2. Everything.
Legal. Next generation, it's going to be a revolution for the console's release. This
generation. Look at my boy really out there. Look at him.
What is up, really?
Getting on wheels like Optimus Prime.
See, this generation, we're evolution, meaning our cloud, our PC, our Xbox, everything. Now, next round, it's going to be a revolution. The next gen hardware, handheld, cloud, saves, anywhere you want. We're set. And I'm glad that Phil took this path and direction and saw how gaming is changed, versus being an at-home console gamer versus on the way to the airport. Anywhere you want to be now, you could game. Any platform.
PlayStation has movies, not games. This is facts. But you want to know what else, Spartan? 117, you said something that was great, man. The fact that Phil Spencer took this approach. And Farouz K-Spot, they capping, bro. They capping. They're capping. But when have they never capped for PlayStation?
They cap more.
Everything about PlayStation for 25 years has been about the cap. But look, here's the funny part, y'all. They literally thought that Phil Spencer would go the ways of PlayStation, the small bank aspect. For some reason, PlayStation fans think that these businesses are looking at PlayStation's model. They're not. If you look at the PlayStation model, that means you're not gaining profit. No company would do that. No company's going to follow the way PlayStation is going. No company. None. So we have articles coming out right now that are saying that the cloud is almost at its near completion. Because right now, the xCloud, as we know, is still in beta form. And from what I'm hearing, that the cloud is finally about to be unleashed. And the perks to it will be every game that you own will be in the cloud now. Every game that you own. So it wouldn't matter if it doesn't matter now. Like, for instance, those that may not have an Xbox, right? If you turn the Xbox on and you go to, like, let's just say I'm using Game Pass for example, because you don't have to go to Game Pass to see this, but you can just literally go to your library. So let's just say you go to your library, right? And as you look at your games, there's some games that you own that have cloud usage as well, and then there's some games that you own that don't. And what Microsoft is doing, from what I'm hearing, is that once the cloud matures, and they said this thing has been in 10 years in the making, which is accurate, because that means that goes back to about roughly 2014, I'm sorry, to 2024. The whole aspect of cloud compute gaming was back in the Xbox One eras, but the cloud compute was more for the features. As Xbox One got older, they started transferring the vision even greater and into the cloud where we could remotely play. But now it's getting to the point where they're looking at, hey, listen, for every game you own, you can be able to play it on the go. That only makes sense, right, Spy, if this Xbox handheld is coming out, is real, which we all know it's real because you can see it. It's like day and night, right? They're preparing for this stuff for ownership. They're preparing for this handheld to be of ownership, because it wouldn't make sense to have a handheld and have games that you've bought that you couldn't play on that handheld. It wouldn't make sense. Sanchez Gaming says people are very upset that PlayStation are taking American jobs and they're buying from America. These guys are over here buying Japanese products, man. It's hilarious. Listen, man. Singers, all I got to say to that, bro, look. Insomniac's director left Wolverine, bro, and came over here to the dark side, fam. Hideo Kojima snatched his damn game and put it over here on the Xbox, bro. Ain't nobody paying no attention to damn PlayStation, bro. Ain't nobody taking no book from no Sony and PlayStation, man. You out your rabbit, carrot eating mine. That company with that brand is last in profits. There's nothing to take from them other than learning how to deceive with a perception. But Microsoft doesn't even have to do that. And you want to know what's funny? Is that Game Pass doesn't even get marketed. I mean, well, I'm going to go back to being critical about Microsoft. You don't even see Game Pass being pushed so hard. And G4, Game Pass is just making money left and right. It wasn't something hard for gamers to understand when Call of Duty came out where to go. They knew exactly where to go. What was it, about 4 million? When Call of Duty dropped, Game Pass grew about 4 million subscribers. It grew. And if my man Realist's prediction is right that he made about 2.5 years ago concerning Game Pass, this is going to be another milestone on Di-RRec Gaming. Because Realist, I remember what you said. You said this. If Game Pass hits 50 million, there's a chance that pay it for the online multiplayer paywall can be gone. And he has a point, because I remember looking at the report for the vision of Game Pass. You know how we all sit up here saying that Game Pass isn't getting pushed hard and there's a lot of people in the world that don't know about Game Pass, right? Okay, but dig this. We saw the vision that Microsoft was saying about Game Pass, right? And here was the vision, people. They want over 100 million subscribers on Game Pass in the year 2031 to 2033. That's their estimate. That's their estimate for it. So you're looking at another 10 years. If that isn't pushing, I don't know what we are thinking, because that's some serious pushing. You're looking at from 30-something million, right? Now it's almost at 40 million, because what was it, 34, 35 million when we got the report? And if you got 4 more million, it can easily be about 5 million, but we don't know. But we know for sure at least 4 million, because that's what Microsoft, the analysts had already projected from what they were already seeing. So if they got 4 million at 38 million and 39 million, not quite at 40 million, but I did say this, 40 million at the end of this year. That was my prediction. 40 million at the end of this year. So now I'm getting close to my prediction. And if that happens, realist, you're looking at this cloud hitting. When this cloud hits Spy, when this handheld comes out, Spy, and people buy this handheld, guess what they're going to subscribe to, Spy? Game Pass. And when you have all these newcomers out here walking around, all these kids, Spy, imagine the kids, Xbox for the children. Imagine all these kids now walking around with Xbox handhelds, Rain, and they're subscribing to Game Pass. Now there's a possibility you get 20 million. And now you're close to what? Now you're close to that 50 million mark. Well, no, you surpassed the 50 million mark. You're on your way to almost 60 million. And then you get the new Xbox coming out. Spy says legal. Honestly, I think the ABK case was the marketing. Facts. Not just a month of marketing with Black Ops 6. I agree with you. Because, Spy, one thing the whole world found out, they found out truths about Xbox and Xbox. I mean, PlayStation and Xbox. Game Pass is not going to save Xbox. What are you talking about, Mike? It already has. It's already had. This handheld was never been announced. So what handheld? Okay. All right. The one that's coming out. The one that's coming out. That's the one that's coming out. Notice how the Portal isn't talked about no more. Notice how the VR2 isn't talked about anymore. There's nothing that PlayStation has dropped that has survived. And it's all because of y'all's fault. You guys don't support your brand. It ain't nobody else's fault. It's not our fault. That's why I told Games, it ain't our fault. I have nothing to do with PlayStation failures, bro. So don't come talking PlayStation failures to me. I don't have nothing to do with it. Go ask the PlayStation community why everything is not working over there. There's no reason to lie to them. And look, I'm going to be honest. You can send all the flowers you want to these devs. You can talk highly all you want about these devs. But if you ain't buying these games, you're shitting on these devs. That's it. Your flowers and all your positive texts ain't doing nothing. That's not what makes the industry grow, because you want to be a peacekeeper out here. Well, peacekeep your ass and your wallet and buy some of these games and let that wallet do the talking. That's if you want to make devs feel good, buy their games. Buy their games. Because we see through the tears when y'all come up here trying to talk about y'all gonna get our games. That's what we look at that and say, look what y'all become. Your self-esteem is low. Y'all don't even know how to talk tough. See, you used to be able to talk a little tough with your lies and myths about your exclusives and resolution and power and all that little stuff y'all used to talk about. Y'all can't talk about that no more. Y'all having a hard time. Y'all can't even talk about games anymore. Y'all losing y'all self-esteem. We got donkeys out here begging for Xbox games. Look what y'all done become. Look at y'all. What happened to y'all, man? Pick yourselves up. Don't y'all have any dignity about yourselves anymore? Come on. Haven't y'all learned? We've been telling y'all just shut up and play y'all's games, man. Because the more y'all come out running y'all's mouth, the more L's you take. Nobody believes in y'all anymore. Nobody. Nobody. We know the games y'all play. Brown paper bag community. Walking around with brown paper bags. It looks sad, man. It looks sad out here. And this is the best y'all can do now. I don't know, man. It's not looking good for y'all. I don't know what to tell y'all. Rain G4 says, funny thing, nothing can save Xbox, but Xbox still makes more money than Sony. Listen, G4, you can't make this stuff up, fam. Xbox is dead, but Xbox makes more money than Sony. Notice you said Sony, and that's facts. We didn't say PlayStation. We said Sony. And that's facts. You want to know? You want to know why? Let me put some respect on what Rain G4 just said. Because what was funny, Rain, was when Microsoft came out and told the whole world that they make $1 billion off of 20 other games. That was it. That fulfilled what you just said. $20+ billion off of 20 games. Xbox has 20 games that are billionaires. That's right. Because the whole notion, Rain, was that none of these PlayStation games would ever go to PC. Every narrative, every theory, every myth has failed. The reason why the games are on PC, they're not buying the games to make Sony any money. If they were you know how we know this? See, because we watch Nintendo. Nintendo fans buy Nintendo games. So therefore, you don't see them needing to put their games on PC. We cannot use that same narrative for Xbox because Xbox has been holding $1 billion game for many years called Halo. Matter of fact, there wouldn't even be Xbox if it wasn't for Halo. And from day one, Halo's been on PC and Xbox. PC, having games on PC and Xbox is because it's Microsoft. Nobody's confused about that. Nobody. Microsoft never built their slogan off of our games would never go to PC because our fan base isn't buying games. Talos, now nobody in the history of Xbox has ever said that. And as a matter of fact, Talos, we never had a head come out, right, Rain? Right, Chat Pat? You've never heard nobody, I don't care which boss it was during the eras of Xbox, come out and publicly say that the Xbox fans don't buy games. But guess what? Mr. Totoki came out and said it. Pyro MD. Totoki came out and told the whole world that donkeys don't buy games. Talos, what's up, man? Right back at you, fam. Rain, why Sony don't put out Gran Turismo to compete with Forza? Bro, they don't compete. They don't compete. They can't even make a legitimate Ghost AI for that damn game. PlayStation technology is too far behind for anybody to take serious, man. Spy says Nintendo does have mobile games. Facts. So I wouldn't. Well, okay. I'm glad he said that. Glad you said that. Look, Baroon Kaspar, does it not make sense? Right? Does it not make sense for Nintendo to not have their games on mobile? Look at their region. Isn't that why they created the Switch? Nobody in the world is saying, well, Nintendo's putting their games on mobile because they're not making more money. Nobody's saying that. Because why, Spy? It makes sense. Pyro MD, my man, what's good, famo? It's good to have you because we know you be working hard, bro. Put in hours. So good to have you. We wanted to come in here and talk, even though my two comrades let me cook. They letting me cook, man. They letting me cook today. So I got to be grateful. I got to be grateful. Talos, Xbox has games. Face function. Man, you got to stop, man. You wilding. Facts, though. Facts, though. Rain says the gaming media ruined Sony and their ego. They helped do this. Yes, they helped. Because 30 Below, what up, fam? Because they get pampered. So when the PlayStation community knew they wasn't living up to their myths, they knew that these articles were going to say these lies that caressed them. But now 30 below, the media can no longer caress them. Notice how the media is just let down. Look at Digital Foundry. Let down. Digital Foundry could only go so far with that PlayStation 5. They're let down. Go look at some of their videos, man. It's hilarious right now. That boy's stupid. What I missed. Oh yeah, tell them who's the master. Exactly. What I meant. Hey, Famo, you know the usual over here, Famo. You know what it is. Talos, if Halo and Gears stays on Xbox and PC and not on PlayStation, watch the ponies get pissed off. Facts. You don't look. Everybody now thinks that Microsoft. We're gonna say this again. There's a reason why Microsoft let everybody know they got over $20 billion off of 20 games. And guess what, Talos? 2 of those games were the 2 you mentioned. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pyro. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Hold on. Outlaw Sean, tell me something. 60 million consoles sold doesn't mean 60 million players. We have a second-hand market that isn't tracked. Why do you think Sony is trying to make PC players sign up with the PlayStation account? See, you know what, brother? I love it when people come into direct gaming and they speak the language. Anybody with any sense understands this right here. And I got to repeat this. Outlaw Sean, man, I haven't seen you around in these parts of the streets, and I noticed you turned on our block today. Make yourself at home, man. It's good to have you here, fam. But I'm going to repeat what you just said, because what you just said is golden. We said this too. There's a reason why Sony pushed the PSN account on PC gamers, and PC gamers didn't fall for it, because when you go and you look in the forums, the PC gamers don't trust that infrastructure. They have a good reason not to. But once again, Outlaw Sean, PlayStation has to live up to its perception, because they can't get over this 47 million mark. They have to find a way to make you think that people are just subscribing for the sake of it. So let me read what Outlaw Sean had to say one more time for people who think that, oh, it's just the new legal saying this stuff, or Realist or Spartan or all these other fanboys. We're not, listen, I don't care if you call me a fanboy. I told y'all this already. 60, so you're going to call, I guess you're going to call Outlaw Sean a fanboy too. So welcome to the club of fanboys, Outlaw Sean, because anybody that tells the truth is a fanboy. Look, 60 million consoles sold doesn't mean 60 million players. We have a second-hand market. Exactly. That isn't tracked. Exactly. Why do you think Sony is trying to make PC players sign up with PlayStation accounts? Because they can't get past the 47 million mark. And it's exactly why Sony has stopped talking about the PlayStation Plus sub count. That's it. There it is. To fix the numbers. Exactly, my friend. Exactly. Because as long as the perception holds up, PlayStation can look like something. The problem is they can't keep the perception up now. Talos, I'm good, Di-RRec. Happy to wake up just in time for the show. Facts, man. We good to have you. Rain G4 coming in with the contribution. Famo, you know we appreciate you, bro. The super chat. Why you wouldn't want your games on more platforms? More money for Xbox. Consoles can do so much. There is a cutoff point. Exactly. There's certain games, Rain, that bring, okay, so in a business, right? And it's not rocket science, because a lot of us have done some wrong in our life. A lot of us have done some right in our life. But whether you've done wrong trying to get money, or whether you've done right to try to get money, there's a common ground on what it takes to get money. And even though I chuckled at that, this is funny because if you're doing wrong to get money, right, Rain? And we all know because we come from these places, right? But for those people out there in the street that do what they have to do on them corners to get money, we know that first you have to win your customers over, right, Rain? And when you're winning your customers over, Pyro, you yourself actually become the business. You don't have to have a big building and stuff to have a business. We all know these things, but you become the brand, right? And because you become the brand, your customers are going to base you off what you deliver to them and how well you deliver to them and how often you deliver to them. So as you keep doing the will of your customers and making them happy, your brand power, right? Your brand power grows. So what that means, Rain, as more and more people around you that are trying to do the same thing you do might emerge. These are facts, people. Other companies come up, they see your ideas, and they get some of your ideas and they recreate something. And now you have competition, right, Rain? But Rain, nobody takes their products to the other person. Nobody does that. Hey, you can go on Netflix right now. Look at some of them gangster movies, right? And you'll look and you see some of these gangster movies where you got the black mob over here, you got the Italian mob over here, right? And they're all in this community. But the black mob is always saying, listen, over here, we will supply you, hey, look, 20, 30 bundles of this. As long as we are able to do this and do that. And the Italians will say, well, listen, we're going to cut your connect over this and over this if you don't do this and this. But what you'll never see happen is them take their businesses and their best product and put them together for each other. Because the Italians have a brand of service that's keeping them doing what they're doing, and the black gangsters are doing a brand and a service to the community that keeps them doing what they're doing. Now, every now and then you'll see some agreements come so that there's not an all-out war going on. That's different from keeping your brand going. So going back to what Talos was saying, or just the chat in general when they brought up the Halos and the Gears and the Forces, those are what makes the brand of Xbox look good. Just like I don't expect a God of War or The Last of Us or Bloodborne or something to that degree to come on Xbox, because those games bring value to the brand. Now, we got a Doom over here that's always been a third-party game where it's always been on multiple platforms. Okay, there's no need to change that up. We got a Fallout over here that's been on. Okay, there's no need to change that up. Keep it out there, because Fallout never made the Xbox brand. Doom never made the Xbox brand. Perfect Dark, keep it over here on Xbox. Why? It's part of the Xbox brand. Fable, keep it over there on that. Why? It's part of the Xbox brand. Grounded, you can put it over there. You can put it over there. Why? Because it doesn't make the Xbox brand. So you don't think these businesses know which games make their brand stand out? That's where the competition's at. And it doesn't guarantee that your game is going to sell just because you throw it on another brand. It doesn't guarantee nothing. Something like Mario going to other platforms would sell his butt off and will be powerful for Nintendo. But Nintendo wants to compete because Nintendo's fans make Nintendo feel special and they don't have to do it. So the brand, Mario builds the brand. So the brand of Nintendo looks great. That's why when you go to Walmart, you see Mario Brother underwear and stuff like that, because Mario Brothers builds that brand. Pyro says Sony also count replacement consoles plus PlayStation VR 2, PlayStation Portal as total units. Facts. That's right. The Portal is a console. Plus shipped to retailers. Sony do it to inflate the total number for investors. Facts. Hoof people to echo without understanding. Awesome. Awesome. And so they come out talking just as such. Pyro, they talk like they talk blindly. They say stuff that they don't even know themselves what they're saying. They're copy and paste. They go into these groups and they hear the herd talk, and then they get it and they come out on social media acting like they're the ones that said this stuff. So Gears, Halo, Forza, Fable should stay on Xbox because you won't see Kratos, Resistance, Horizon, Killzone over to Xbox. Ponies are eating cats and dogs and taking American jobs. Boy, you wildin', famo.
You know what the beauty of this holidays is, New Legal?
Nintendo never goes on sale. Facts. They don't. What'd you say, Spartan?
The beautiful thing about this holiday is the, how do you say, downfall, the fall of PlayStation's Babylon?
Famo, what do they have for Christmas?
Nothing. They ain't got shit. They got Game Pass. That's what I'm gonna see. Every single one of them are gonna opt in for Game Pass and experience Indiana Jones at its finest. Starfield, they've already opted in for Game Pass. Call of Duty, it only makes sense to go on Game Pass. You got all these perks, this, that included. For $20 a month, man, you got nothing to lose. Next gen gaming machine, and it's outpacing its technology to its rival companies. I don't understand how these guys are going to sit there and spend over $1,000 plus a stand and no games and wait until March, spring. How does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why would my ass want to sit there with $1,000 machine, remakes, remasters that aren't even hitting their metrics with the PSSR? Xbox One X did way better than that. Remember when they came out with their own custom super sampling? That's all PlayStation did for this next mid-gen.
Hey, Spartan, watch this drop that I'm about to put in the chat. Chat, this is for y'all, and this is for all the liars that don't understand the impact of what Call of Duty has done on Xbox. This is for y'all. So when y'all open that up, you'll know that Di-RRec Gaming isn't lying about anything. That's in the US. That's where we're all at. You got the numbers. You got the numbers. So
you know what baffles me? One thing that baffles me is it not Sony that stated that every single disk drive in PlayStation Portal counts as a console unit?
Who's lying to who, y'all? Let me put this right here. Who's lying to who? Let me knock some of this out because you know how it is on YouTube.
Man, you had to pay $90 for Call of Duty on PlayStation. That's gangster.
It's crazy. They're getting cold for Xmas as they're all been too naughty all year, making shit up for Twitter engagement. What does it say? That's how much they hate Microsoft. Facts. I think these folks just hate Microsoft, man. They have a problem with Microsoft. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can chop it in half real quick.
Microsoft is not lying when they say they're king of softwares. There you go. They got
Let me do this. Let me do
company.
this real quick.
We got the bangers now, man.
What'd you say, Spartan?
We got bangers, man. Microsoft, when they say they're a king of software sales and company, there you have it. Right now, it's going up. And NVIDIA GeForce that they made a deal with. You got Amazon that they made a deal with. The Fire Sticks are flying off the shelf. Even brand new Samsung TVs coming up with existing ones that already have the Game Pass app on them. They welcome you very, very warm when you set up your TVs. It's gonna be a great holidays for the Xbox gamers. Make sure everybody has their ultimates, rewards, perks. They even hook you up with logging in. It's amazing.
That's
Xbox likes to engage with its gamer, with its communities. PlayStation don't.
That's right. Just like they don't have, look, I put it all right there. You can't make this up. Okay? Look at the numbers. Maximo. Look, Maximo, stop being a coward and hide behind a damn name you put on social media. Don't call my name out. They know what my name is. You a fairy out here, bro. Don't be a fairy. Go land on a leaf and grow some wings. You coming out here telling the world my name don't mean nothing, bro. Plenty of people know my name, fam. Get out of here. That's light work. You on my stage right now. You don't have a stage. Yo, Sony fanboys, they don't love their own system. They just hate everyone else that's not theirs. Facts. That's facts. Let me do this too. Let me do this. This is what really gets them. Look, truth gets them. Here's the numbers. Hey, don't get mad at me. I'm just putting out what's out here. Look, here's another one. Let's do this. Let's do this. Then I'm gonna do something real quick. Check this out. We're gonna put the numbers out here. Don't let nobody lie to you, man. One thing about these donkeys, they'll lie to themselves. They'll lie to themselves. Hold on, I got you right here. Check this out. They can't lie on these truths, man. This is what's funny. I'm going to finish it up. Don't worry. I got you. Let all y'all read this for yourselves. Watch this. You put it out here because we got a responsibility to do. We got a responsibility to do, people. We ain't out here playing with these donkeys, man. Look, there it is right there. Call of Duty is home on Xbox because that's where it started at. You got donkeys out here talking about Call of Duty's at home on PlayStation. Bro, PlayStation had a deal for 10 years, bro. Call of Duty's been out longer than 10 years. There wouldn't be no Call of Duty if it wasn't for Xbox. You couldn't even sell tickets to a clown show with that line. Call of Duty's home on PlayStation. Ain't nobody coming to that show. Ain't nobody coming to that show. That's why y'all state of plays is dog shit. Don't nobody even watch that shit.
It's all Microsoft that gave birth to first person. Everything.
You can't even get a show that showcase any PlayStation games. Y'all be up there praying for the state of play to show y'all something. It feels warm and fuzzy when you see the Game Pass app on the TV. Yo, let me tell you something, bro. Talos, that's a big deal, fam. That is a big deal. It really is, man. I'm gonna tell you another big deal. You know what's sad about PlayStation? It's just so limited, man. It's like Sony
way too proprietarized.
Oh, it's just Spartan. Sony acts like they're scared of their players to to know anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even do a GeForce on there. You can't even link a Steam account on there and stuff. It's just whack, bro. Like, you don't even have a web browser on there. It's like, it's just trash. We're in a society where multitasking is just part of life. It's just a part of life. And it's just Sony just behind on that. Pyro MD says, oh, at Christmas, heads up for y'all. CD Keys have started a deal with Game Pass Ultimate, 41% off for a single month code or 36% off for a 3-month code. I believe it's early Black Friday. So I'm gonna hit my boy Willis on that. Man.
Yeah,
hey,
Black
Willis,
Friday, we gonna have some.
Out, man. Let me know what you see. I'll send you some money, man. Definitely, bro. Gotta get back up on that. That 36% off, man, looks dope. Yeah, that's let me put that up there for people that didn't get all of that, man. But that's a good deal right there. Especially that 36% off for the 3-month code. Definitely. You can snatch you about 3 or 4 of them, man.
CD keys?
Get you a good stack. Especially on those that have previous and ain't paying the $20. At least we're at the 16. I mean, you know, you can say it was $3, but I saw people cry with $3 before.
Where we could get
with $3.
Where could I get my hands on this deal?
Yo, CD keys. It's right there.
Okay, CD keys.
Put in CD keys, yeah.
Okay.
In case anyone wants to top up or get their kids some Game Pass Ultimate ahead of time. Exactly, bro. Facts. Facts, bro. It is what it is. Game Pass is just something that annihilated everybody. Everybody with a service. You know, let's just keep it real. I don't have a problem saying this. Some
3 tiers, perfect.
PlayStation fans think this is a victory when we say things like this, and then some Xbox gamers lose their self-esteem when you say stuff like what I'm about to say. But it's just being confident. Look, Xbox has always had a hard time in the console space when it comes to sales, but it's always been able to maintain its number for its consumers. The Xbox community has always been able to maintain itself, period. So the Xbox community isn't based off of a popularity contest. It isn't even based off of a console sales race, even though we love to compete. Every year we come in 3rd place. We competing our butts off in the console space. We love to go to war. It's just in us because most of us are Sega fans. It's just in us. And so each year we get our butt kicks by the console space, right? We get it. We understand. But we never threw the white flag up. But Phil came along and told us, you know, we're going to stop talking about it because as a business, we don't want to talk about where we make the least amount of money anymore. And when he said that, I was like, what the hell is this dude talking about? You know, he came out in 2014. I'll never forget it. I forgot the interview he said that on, what platform he was on when he said it. But when he said that, I was like, damn. And then we had to go the rest of that generation without console sales announcements. And we were just in the dark. We just didn't know. And Microsoft went 10 toes down on that. So we can't say they paddywhacked with that. But at the same time, Microsoft was coming up with another way to skin the cat, right? And they saw that the real money, the real talks now should be about the services. Because let's keep it for real. When Bill Gates announced the Xbox, that's exactly what he said. So it's not that Phil Spencer came up with this new philosophy. It's been the philosophy the whole time. It's just Xbox was created to show the world that the PlayStation platform was a lie. If you didn't see Power On, go watch it. Shameless Blackley and his crew laughed at what PlayStation was presenting itself out to the world by Sony. They knew Sony was lying about the PlayStation back then. And they wanted to get in and compete. But the problem with PlayStation, But the problem with PlayStation is it's never been able to hold up its first-party games and make its platform strong off of its first-party games. PlayStation has always been a strong third-party platform, period. Facts, from day one. From day one. Yeah, that's when the hate started, famo. Exactly. And Xbox always been trying to get into the game and show the game what it can do. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Nobody wanted this American console in this Japanese arena. So Xbox not only had to fight amongst itself with the Windows department, but it had to fight against the industry that doesn't want it in there. Xbox was being discriminated. So Xbox had to fight for its civil rights. It had to fight for its civil rights. And so even though it's still to this day, we still see Sony every now and then getting exposed for trying to block a game coming to Xbox. Why? Why is that? Why does it hurt Sony for Xbox to have games on it if Xbox is so weak and not a threat? Why is that? That's the way PlayStation wants to compete. It wants to compete behind the curtain because it's a coward. This is why things are about to start popping off on PlayStation that aren't really positive. You got the lawsuits coming in. How can you cap for a company that's having a lawsuit for shafting you? I don't understand that. There's a messed up mindset with that. That's just, I can't understand that. That's another reason why I say whatever happens to you, you deserve it. You asked for it. You don't have games, I don't care. It's funny to me. That's your problem. That's your problem. You don't have games, that's your problem. You bought the PlayStation brand. You bought that vision. You went into that. You paid for that. So that's your problem. That's nobody else's problem. You guys need liars out here. You need YouTubers and influencers to keep lying to y'all. Y'all need that, because if you don't have that, it'll be a poor situation out here for y'all, because you really can't make sense out of not buying games and then expecting your brand to stay with you. You guys actually get mad when content goes somewhere else. Why are you mad at that? You're not doing anything. What do you expect Sony to do? That's why I love Totoki, man. He comes out, he doesn't play no games with y'all. He plays no, y'all don't even like the guy. Don't even talk about that guy. He's the best thing that ever happened to y'all because he tells y'all the truth. Y'all should be making a statue of this guy, man. Spartan, they should make a statue of this guy because he's the only guy that didn't lie to him. And then when Jim Ryan redeemed himself, they got mad at him. Yo, the developers at Sony got mad at Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan told them, listen, man, you got to get off these one and dones, and y'all got to try to figure out how you can create a service game.
They're gonna sit there and make
we're not doing that.
Mount Rushmore picture with the guy, man.
They need to do something, bro. They need to do. He over here quoting Destin's post. He already caught an L. He's already caught an L. Tell us you are it, man. You got this boy over here quoting Destin. Where's Destiny for Destin at? Where's Bungie for Destin?
Destin's still gonna. Well, what is it? I don't get his purpose, man.
Right, the whole slate, right, the whole slate. Like PlayStation over there making money. They're dead last, and they talk about everybody want to put their games on PlayStation. All right, Sinners, I'm gonna put you up here to defend yourself. My man said, no, I'm quoting NPD. Okay. Since Xbox don't report Xbox numbers. They just, you have to get more sophisticated when you want to find out about Xbox. You just gotta wait on Xbox to let you know how many subscribers Game Pass has, and you gotta look at how many engagement people are playing on the game. The things that matter. And let me tell you something. Sony's on his way of doing that too. That's why they don't tell you the numbers of the PlayStation Plus. You're about to get the same. You're about to get that same treatment soon because Microsoft won that. They finally won that, and now it just makes sense to talk about engagement. Sony has already came out and said that. They've already let you know what's more important. But it's just the problem. Like I said, it's you guys. Because let's just be honest. You guys are holding on to console war sales. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. But the PlayStation 5 is not going to sell nowhere near the PlayStation 4. Then what? Realist, you got something to say on that? What do you think is going to happen, Realist, when them numbers are far below the PlayStation 4? When that perception says, well, let's look at the world. The world says they didn't want the PlayStation 5 because that's what sales say. When your sales are not, see, this is how it works. It's a year-to-year thing. If your console sells more than what the other consoles sold, that's the success. It's not that you have to sell 100 million consoles every year, big money, right? Big B money in the house. You don't have to, PlayStation doesn't have to sell over 100 million consoles for it to be a success. The problem is Sony made that their problem. So if the PlayStation 4 sold 117 million and the PlayStation 5 only sells 70 million in its lifetime, what happened to all the rest of the? Let's just do the math, people. Let's just do something here. Let's do this for the donkeys. 117 minus 70. 47 million people disappeared. I'm looking for a donkey to explain what happened to the 47 million. They either, like I said about the PlayStation 3 numbers, so let's do it like this. You remember when the PlayStation 2 hit 155? And the 3 only sold 384, 86, maybe 88? I can't remember. Somewhere around there. That's a 60 million gap. What happened to the 60 million
That's because, look, bro, they found ways to make DVD players cheaper than PlayStations. That's what happened.
Facts. So realist, big B money. What's gonna be the excuse? Because we all know this. We're gonna say it right on Di-RRec Gaming. What's gonna be the excuse, Google Pope, when the PlayStation 5 sells nowhere near that and they lose about 46 million? The question to all these influencers out here, to all these YouTubers out here, and all these liars out here, where did they go? The only thing legal can say is they grew up, went to school, went to college, had families, got married, they died, or they went to PC or Xbox. But what are the donkeys gonna say? Yeah, bro,
It don't really matter what donkeys have to say, because what's happening is what I was talking about earlier. I said this before. They did not buy a PlayStation for PlayStation games. Look at it. Madden's still on old generation hardware. Fortnite, Call of Duty. That's where they are. There's no need to buy a new console when you can play the games that you really want to play without having to spend an extra $500. What's going to happen if they really want to sell the PlayStation 5 is they're going to have to start giving it away like they gave away the PlayStation 3, selling it for $200, $229. Start giving them away. But like I was saying, you asked if I had anything to say about it. Then you start talking, right? I know you're rolling, but look, PlayStation's problem is people aren't there for PlayStation games. So they're doing all the heavy lifting. You mentioned they're the last ones in profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Nintendo's first, Xbox second. I don't know if Xbox still gonna be second after this year, but last year Xbox was second, PlayStation was last. PlayStation had the most revenue, but what happened to the $27 million between there and $2 billion, right? So what are they doing? They're paying to keep games off Xbox. It's funny that PlayStation fans always talk about how irrelevant Xbox is, but here we have PlayStation still trying to make these backdoor deals to keep games off of Xbox. I thought Xbox was not a threat. I thought Xbox was a non-factor in this quote unquote console war, and that PlayStation had it wrapped up. Why are they still wasting money? Why would you waste money, right, to
Facts.
keep games off of a dead platform? But that's what PlayStation does. And yeah, you're right. I have said that PlayStation doesn't like to compete. That's why they don't
Hmm.
have a Japan studio. That's
Come
why they
on with
don't
it,
have
man.
that's why they don't have no more Halo Killer. That's why they don't have any more Killzone. Right? They rather attach themselves to the winner than to compete. There's one
Hmm.
thing, and I've said this before. I'm gonna say a lot of things I said before. Halo kept showing up. Halo got his ass kicked just like every other game, right? But they kept making Halo games. Xbox didn't give
Hmm.
up on any of their games the way PlayStation does, because Xbox doesn't, or Microsoft as a company doesn't mind competition, right? They rather attach themselves to Final Fantasy than make another Legend of the Goon. You see what I'm saying? They don't want competition. They don't want any. They think that if they pay to keep games off of Xbox, that's a win for them. Why are they afraid? Because they're in a fragile situation, legal. Look, if I was Xbox, I'm so glad. I told you this when it first happened. I was like, man, I'm glad Xbox isn't trying to compete with PlayStation in terms of trying to have time exclusivity on these games. Why are you paying to build up an IP that you'll never own? Now, it doesn't apply to Xbox because or Microsoft can buy what they want, but PlayStation was never going to buy Call of Duty. They were never going to buy Square Enix. It wasn't in the budget. So basically paying now in Square's case to kill their franchise, and now they're trying to rebuild. And I think it might be a little too late for them. We'll see. We'll see what happens to them. They should have learned from Sega years ago. But we know all the way from the antenna story you told me. Sony don't like competition. Sony don't like to be number two. And if they can't be number one, they'll attach themselves to number one and act like it's them. But we don't care what the ponies say, man. They're gonna do their job. You know what I mean? Some people say that we do our job. I don't think that we defend Xbox when Xbox is in a losing situation or they're doing something wrong. I don't think so. But some people might. But they're gonna defend PlayStation no matter what. No matter how bad PlayStation looks, they're gonna find some. You know what? They're gonna give you that articulate bullshit. They'll like a Reforged Gaming or a Colin Moriarty get on the internet saying something using big words, but it's still bullshit. Just because it sounds smart, it's still bullshit. PlayStation has a problem at its foundation. Jim Ryan was charged with correcting that, and he started. See, they hated Jim for putting the games on PC, but that's what needed to happen. Because once they understood that we're making $300 million games and these people aren't buying these games, we need to put them somewhere else. And I see a lot of Xbox fans are afraid to say that PlayStation games are coming to Xbox. PlayStation games are coming to Xbox. Why? They're going to Nintendo. Why? Because they have to. They built their fan base the wrong way. And this is what I said to PlayStation fans a long time ago. I don't think Xbox even wants PlayStation players. You stay over there, we'll buy the game that you play, and you just stay over there and play it. Because all you're going to do is buy an Xbox to play Call of Duty. Xbox needs these people to play different games. The PlayStation user, for the most part, is bad for business. I guess most casuals, they're not good for trying to create new IP because they're all tied and attached to the same games. So what are we fighting for? We'll just put the games that we want over there that need some help. We'll put them on PlayStation and we'll see. PlayStation have to do the same thing if they want to keep making games. And I told every opponent that's ever interacted with me on Twitter or been in this chat, Cygnus included. Y'all cheering for Xbox games to come to your platform, and Xbox is eating y'all from the inside out. Xbox is about to relegate PlayStation to be a Steam with a console. Why do I say that? Because they're already not making new games. They come out telling y'all they're making new games. Now we hear that Wolverine might be getting pushed back. I mean, a lot of people already played Wolverine. So what incentive do they have to spend 300, 200, $150 million on a game and y'all won't buy it. Y'all revolt when they put it on PC. They need to sell their consoles. They don't want to make their console look weak. So they're between a rock and a hard place. First, it's gonna be day and date on PC. Then they're gonna start putting them on Nintendo, and then they're gonna start putting them on Xbox because they have to. They're trying to play Nintendo, but they already trained their customers to pay $30 and $15.99 for games. So how you gonna tell these same people to spend $60? Nintendo never wavered. They always sold their games at full price. That's why they can get over there and sell a $30 game for $60. You look at what PlayStation did with Astro Bot. I can't say Astro Bot was a bad game or is any worse than Mario. But you've already trained your consumers that $60 is too much for a platformer. It got to look like a movie before they start spending $60 and $70. So that's why Astro Bot sells 1.5 million. But I don't care about the ponies legal, and I ain't gonna talk for an hour and a half like you.
Come on, really, speak on it.
Nah, I spoke on it, bro. Because I mean, that's all there is to it, man. We don't care about the ponies, man. The ponies gonna do their job. That's my simple answer for you. But PlayStation is a broken, not a broken platform. Their business is broken. And see, now us as gamers, we have to talk about the business now, right? It used to just be about playing games because, truth be told, all of the platforms have enough games for us to be playing right now. But if we want to start talking about who's winning, who's losing, it's PlayStation. PlayStation does not control their platform. Not one game that they own is going to be in the top after 2 weeks. Maybe Spider-Man, and they don't own Spider-Man. You know Spider-Man is down. They got to put it on PC faster. And once they put it on PC, especially on Steam, they're only going to get 40% of the sales. They got to give Steam 30. They got to get a mouse 30. They're going to be selling that game for 40%. That's how bad it is for them. We need to get it out fast. They don't have a reliable IP. I can't say that it's God of War or nor Horizon. Because why? Because they threw it in a bundle. Sell it separately. Let's see who really bought the PlayStation for that game. I don't believe that people. I believe that people just wanted a PlayStation and they took Horizon and they took God of War because God of War was in a bundle for at least a year. Horizon was in there for a minute too. I only paid attention to God of War because my son wants to play it. But I don't see them with any reliable IP. I mean, legal. You help me out. Like outside of God of War, something that they have that's theirs that they don't have to break somebody off to use. They're about to do the same thing with Wolverine. Supposedly they got an X-Men game coming out. What is it that they do? I see people saying no PlayStation 6. I think that PlayStation might be better off just being a third-party publisher. All these people saying that Xbox needs to be a third-party publisher because they're not selling enough consoles. PlayStation's console is better for everybody else than them. I think that they're the only one in their position. They do all the marketing. They do all this stuff that they want that these Xbox fans are complaining about Microsoft. They're not doing enough marketing. Look at the billboards that PlayStation have. They want marketing and stuff on trains in UK for like they do for PlayStation. But that's why PlayStation makes 29 billion a year and only takes home 2 billion of it. It's stuff like that. All this market awareness and stuff just to sell a console. They can't sell their own games on. I'm not saying they don't sell any games because there's always some idiot that'll say, "Well, it sold 15 million, 15 million out of 160." And another thing they don't understand is the bigger the number that y'all put out, the worse it looks for y'all. If y'all come out here and say that it's 70 million PS5s out there in the market and y'all only sold 1.5 million, that looks even worse. If I were y'all and I was trying to make my platform look better, I'd be like, "Hey man, yeah, we sold 55 million because only such and such are out there, but they haven't even been activated. So they shouldn't count. Because if you say you sold 70 million, that percentage goes below 1. If you sold 65, you're at 1. 1%. 1% of y'all bought a PlayStation to play a PlayStation game. Spider-Man, 10 million. 11 million, right? This was 11 million. They sold 11 million. And they
Realist,
gotta
when was
get
the
and they
last
got and
time
they
you
got
saw a
and they gotta
game?
get and they gotta get a mouse his cut. That's not good business.
That's right, realist. But when it was the last time you saw a game sell those numbers and they don't have a DLC for it?
Yeah, I mean Baldur's Gate, but like,
Stop, man. Baldur's
I
Gate,
mean,
Spider-Man, two different levels.
you ask me, I can give you an answer, but like, I don't understand. See, I don't think the
No,
game did
realist.
what
I
they.
got
I
one.
don't.
Okay,
I
you
know
did
the
for
game did.
real.
I don't think
But Baldur's
I
Gate.
know that the game didn't do what they needed it to do.
But
What is
realist,
it?
here's the difference. Because you're right. But here it is. Baldur's Gate never said it was going to have a DLC.
Oh. Yeah.
There you go, realist. Go,
Yeah.
bro. I got a big
Yeah.
pot of 30 minutes. Keep cooking,
Yeah.
baby.
You got me
Let's
on.
get the floor back
You
on
got me
you.
on that one. But no, I mean, like, it's only so much I can say about these guys, man. And my biggest thing is I like talking to the Xbox fans because the Xbox fans, in my opinion, are like they are the weakest collection of individuals. It's like not this. Most of the people in this chat that associate themselves with Direct Gaming come in and check in. They're mostly strong Xbox fans. But for the most part, I see Xbox fans and they're just so weak. Like they can't stand on nothing. They don't even know what's going on with Xbox to even talk about Xbox. Most of them, and most of the biggest YouTubers don't know. That's why
Because
they all
they're
look
half
like pony
breeds, realist.
bots, right?
Yeah,
Well,
they're
that's what I'm
half
saying.
breeds.
See, we saying the same thing. That's why they all look like pony bots because they don't know they don't know what they standing for. You know why you came to Xbox. I know why I came to Xbox. I'm gonna guess and say Spartan came to Xbox for Halo. But when you when you look at people that started on PlayStation, why did they come to PlayStation? They came to Final Fantasy. They came because their mama wanted a DVD player. You know what I'm saying? It's not like there was a PlayStation game that brought them to the brand. They came, yeah, and they ended up liking it, but it was never for something that PlayStation brought to them. Why? Because PlayStation didn't have anything to bring. PlayStation's only ammunition was to get third parties to forsake all others and make games for them. You know, and Square been getting pimped this whole time until now. Like nobody want her no more. Nobody trying to give her no money. She about to have to retire. That's how they rolled Square. You know, but there people didn't come to PlayStation for PlayStation, and it took them so many years, but they'd already started. It's like now they want to create. Now they want to correct it. Now they want to start trying to hold the line on their video game sales, but people didn't come here for your games. If you price your games at $70, I'll just go play Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty. That's their problem. And then people try to compare attach rate percentages from PlayStation to Xbox. Xbox has a remedy. The remedy is Game Pass. Don't pay us $70 for it. Come subscribe. If you like it, then go buy it. Game Pass will generate so much hype you'll want to buy it, or you'll want to play it, or you'll want to subscribe. So it's two different models. PlayStation, I don't think that they know how to fix it. I definitely know that they can't fix it because their whole fan base is just they're not there for them. Whereas Xbox, everybody loves free. That's why free to play games are but Game Pass is not free, but it feels free. Y'all talking about Game Pass deals right now. So it feels free. And people come in, they see all the games, and most of them stick. You get the rare guy that comes in and says, I cancel my Game Pass because there's nothing to play. I don't block them, but I'm inclined to though. But like outside of the ponies, man, what else you want to talk about in this 25 minutes, whatever we got left, man? Because we
Hey, we
you
slow
talk you
cooking
talk
tonight,
you talk
baby. Hey,
you talk you talk so much about different things with these people, right? And it's like, and I see that you addressing some of the PlayStation fans, man. And like sometimes I have to explain what a fan is. And a lot of these guys, they're not PlayStation fans because if they were PlayStation fans, they wouldn't want Xbox games on their platform. They wouldn't.
Speak on it.
But instead they're cheering, right? And as an Xbox fan, I was mad, right? Now I still don't like the way they did Indiana Jones. They could have did that separately. Let Sony do it on their own stage and announce it, especially with that dude Keeley, right? But if you don't see the poison pill, if you don't see them sneaking in the back door, right? No Diddy, getting ready to take advantage of Sony. Sony has no control of their fan base. Why? See, I still say that Nintendo probably should leave Call of Duty off their platform. Why? Because they have very little third party presence on their platform as it is. And all their first party games are breaking records. See, me looking at Nintendo, I say, man, Microsoft has enough to do what Nintendo is doing, right? Especially with a game like Call of Duty. But Call of Duty's got to go everywhere. PlayStation can't do what either one of them do, but they're gonna try. I don't know if you pay attention, but they're doing better with their service. It'll never be as good as Game Pass because they're not committed to it, and they don't have the money. They'd rather spend money to keep games off Xbox. Xbox is paying just to put them in Game Pass. Yeah, you can sell whatever you're gonna sell over there on PlayStation. Exclusivity deals. That's another thing I heard you bring up. Those are almost dead. You know, I've been saying this. What? How long? How long is generation legal?
For about 4
What's this?
years.
What's in 10 more days? It'll be 4 years.
Yep.
Told you it's one more square. After that, time exclusivity is just
Let
about.
me tell you how
It's
beautiful
it's
that
gonna be
was,
an
man.
afterthought.
Realist, that was one of the most beautiful prophecies ever that I heard you say, bro. I'm serious, bro, because you said it with a straight face. And you know, when it came to be, all I could do was call you. You know, and it goes to another point, man. Seriously. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, we were having this talk a while back, and Realist was saying, listen, this exclusive only, when we talk about just exclusive, we're talking about exclusive, the word exclusive. We're not talking console exclusive. We're talking exclusive where it is not even on PC. It's only on the console, right? Phil said that the word exclusive is coming extinct because most of the time a game will even be on console or PC nowadays. Now, there was only one publisher that was doing these exclusive deals with PlayStation, and that was Square. The rest of the industry had already moved on from this. But you want to know what's crazy, those realists? You said something earlier, and I was gonna say it. Yeah. Here you go. I'm glad I remembered it because you was cooking, and now I'm gonna let you continue to cook. We're not going anywhere, y'all. We've been away for a while. We're gonna make sure we give y'all everything that we can. We want to cover all grounds today. We're having fun. But notice what you said when you talked about the difference of PlayStation guys now crying for Xbox games. We see that as a victory. We're looking at that and laughing because we already knew you guys were already weak. You've never been a strong base. That's why y'all don't really have parties. That's why you really don't have a community inside of PlayStation. You guys just look for areas to validate why you are a PlayStation gamer. That's been your whole situation from the get-go. You know, if y'all can get together in a herd and lie to each other as to why y'all PlayStation gamers, y'all will do that. I've seen it. It's one of the funniest shits to ever see. But here's something that you don't ever see, realist. You don't see the Xbox community crying for PlayStation games. Now, there's a fundamental building block as to why that is. Because Xbox gamers we're built from the ground up. The PlayStation fan base ain't built from the ground up. The Xbox community has always been built off of Halo. It started there off the lands. Then it went to Xbox Live. And then Microsoft, of course, had to make a party chat because we actually had a real community. Everybody else followed suit from that. When we talk about what Xbox is the king of online gaming. It's the king of that. There's nothing in gaming history that has been greater than 23 years of online gaming like Xbox. It is the undisputed heavyweight champion when it comes to that. And so We never wanted any other. We didn't want nothing else because the Xbox community knew what it was. It knows what it is, realist. That's why you don't see nobody over here wanting anything. You don't see us wanting anything. That's all. So this notion that all of a sudden PlayStation, the only reason you hear the PlayStation fans switching up now is because their narratives don't stand no more. So they try to find out something else that they think is going to hurt or stick. But we're past all of that. There's nothing that y'all are doing that's building. You got to understand that PlayStation has plateaued as far as its services, and it's really going under as far as its console sales. So the business has to move. Everything has to move. It's not just a PlayStation thing. Everybody is going to make this shift. Because listen, as Nintendo makes these animated games, right? The development cost is always low. This is why Nintendo can just keep making these little Mario games. It's not costing them that much, okay? But Sony Sony's PlayStation and Microsoft Xbox, they deal in a different type of space. They deal where their games are going to use some technology. PC deals with where games are going to use this technology. So there's going to be some money involved. It's not going to be a little simple 35 million, 40-something $million game, and that's it, and that's it. That's all you're getting. They're putting in some big bucks into this. As of to Nintendo, where they make $100 million game, tops. You're talking about implementing high-tech, new technology into gaming, AI, machine learning, new graphical chips, next-gen level chips. That stuff costs because Microsoft is a software company / data company before it's anything else. And Xbox has now become the most selling item in its area, surpassing Windows outside of the cloud, outside of Azure. This thing is top notch. But why is that a big deal, and why is that not a big deal with PlayStation? Well, because PlayStation is the driving force for Sony. Xbox isn't the driving force for Microsoft. That's the difference. And where Xbox came, where it was from behind. Xbox was something that even the people at Microsoft didn't even take serious. You never saw that at the PlayStation camp. PlayStation's been serious ever since Nintendo hurt its heart. Ever since Nintendo made PlayStation cry. They've been on a vengeful conquest since 1991, people. They've been on a vengeful conquest ever since. And they still on a vengeful conquest. The problem is, you don't call the shots, Sony. Your pockets ain't big enough to box with God. Your arms are too short. Microsoft is a king. It's a big tech out here. There's only so many seats. And Sony, you in the front row seat. You ain't even up on the podium. You know what? It's funny. Xbox, Amazon, Google, Meta / Facebook, Alphabet, Samsung, they're the strippers. They up on the stage, swinging around on a pole. You know what Sony is? Sony's the guy that comes in and makes it rain. And they lose their money to some strippers. The strippers grab the money. They go out and buy them some clothes. They trick a few hoes. They get back to stripping again. And this ain't an all-new strip club. This is what's sad, because Sony can't afford that. Sony coming in tipping strippers with their clothes on. They don't even get a lap dance. Sony just comes to the show, baby. They can't get into that $300 to $500 million room. They can't go in there. They can't go in there, J-Mac. They walking into the gentleman's club. And they gotta they gotta bring their own beer. They gotta pay a fee. They can't even walk in for free. They don't get no special treatment. Sam Chance, they get no special treatment. Don't worry about us. Don't worry about us. Us Xbox fans are going to be fine because we got Minecraft. We got Call of Duty. We got Candy Crush. Come on. What else you want? Google Post said. Google Post said Sony's all dressed up with nowhere to go. Facts. Well, that's funny as hell. That's fact. Got all dressed up and went nowhere. Man, you wildin', fam. That shit funny as hell. But that's facts. Boy, that's some funny shit right there. That's facts. They get all dressed up to go toss their money around, realists. And this is for real, because realists been saying this. They've been tossing it. Look, they went and tossed their money at that dev here recently. That dev said, man, fuck y'all. I ain't about to put my game just on your platform. You out your damn rabbit ass mind.
Legal, I said this. This is the problem with Sony and these time exclusivity deals, especially now, right? I'm gonna pay you to keep your game off of other platforms while I put my games on other platforms.
Right.
Like, how contradictory is that? And the biggest problem is, right?
Oh shit.
When they pay for these games, none of them are big hits. So it's like, why? Yeah, Sony, we can take the money from you, right? Sony is so desperate that they're trying to keep games off of PC, right? With these deals. What's the name of that game from Korea that all these dudes was beating off to?
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be on Xbox. Stellar Blade, right? Stellar Blade should have at least been on PC. But they didn't even let them put it on PC. Same thing with Final Fantasy. Those games should at least be on PC.
Yeah.
So now you got what, God of War coming on PC. Square finally getting their head out of their ass and saying, okay, let us go put the game on PC. Excuse me. And God of War and Final Fantasy 16 on PC the same week.
Right.
So like what part of this is good for anybody but Sony? That's what I said in the past though. Like it's only good for Sony. Maybe they sell a couple hundred consoles with some of these games. Cause I don't think there's nobody I ever came across outside of the internet that said, oh man, I played Stellar Blade. That game was good. Man, that game was tight, man. You should play it. You should get a PlayStation. I ain't never heard that. I don't hear nobody talking about it when I go into the store. Nobody talking about Stellar Blade. Nobody talking about Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy Rebirth. Final Fantasy Integrate. Whatever Final Fantasy y'all want to bring up. Right? And then they'll say, oh, they sold 3 million. Square said it was the most in history. What the hell? They're going to say it was you know what? The wordplay that these dudes get suckered by is very irritating.
Fact.
This sold more games than anybody, and then they don't say, okay, what time frame was it in 2 hours that it sold 100,000? Y'all never sold 100,000 in 2 hours before,
right?
It's always something, right? And then later on you hear, oh, it didn't meet projections, it didn't meet our expectations.
It's like,
right?
bro, buy the game and play it instead of talking numbers.
No. See, these dudes on the internet, we're not even talking about them. See, I give some of them credit. Some of these dudes actually mine these games, but the problem is not enough of them. But when they talk about PlayStation, they talk about the whole of PlayStation. They don't say us hardcore PlayStation fans. They say PlayStation. They say PlayStation is the market leader. PlayStation is this. PlayStation is that. I give some of them their credit. Right? Most of them not bitches. Most of them will show you. A lot of them will show you their trophy. I can say most of them. You know what I mean? But for the most part, people I know on PlayStation, they playing Madden and Call of Duty, right? But I know the numbers, right? The numbers say that people are playing Fortnite, Call of Duty. They're not there playing PlayStation games. Astro Bot made the list, right? The what is it for the week? Most new games are gonna make the list. and that seems to evade a whole lot of people that the first week sales it better chart. You know what I
Fact.
mean? You're going against games that have been out for months and only
I know,
selling
realist.
tens of
Come
thousands
on,
of
speak on it.
units.
Let's be
You
for
know what I'm
real now.
saying?
Speak on it.
No, I am speaking for real. What you talking about?
No, that's what I'm saying. Let's get for real. Speak on it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, man, these dudes don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're rooting for. But this time, exclusivity, I saw that they just weren't selling enough games. I can't think of one game that benefited from being exclusive to PlayStation, right? Because PlayStation had a bunch of exclusives over the years. They've all done better everywhere else, and that's just easy math, right? Like we could be mad as Xbox fans, and they could be mad at PlayStation as PlayStation fans. But if you give more people access to the game, you're gonna make more money. PlayStation selling more consoles is about to play out. There's a lot of people that's going different places to play their games. Some of them going to PC, some of them buying PC handhelds. Some people I've seen people on YouTube getting rid of their consoles to play a handheld. Why? Xbox games and PlayStation games are coming over here. You know what I mean? So if you look at the games going to PC, because this is another thing. I've been selling you this because PC players like to talk to console players for some reason. It's like if the PC was so great, you should have plenty of PC conversation. A lot of your popular YouTubers that play on PC, most of their conversation revolves around consoles. But when you look at 300 million Steam players, now the thing about those Steam players is they're playing a Steam game, right? Counter-Strike. A lot of those guys are playing Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike has over 300 million downloads. But when you look at the sales of these games, it's not like they're selling so much more than consoles in most cases. Now, when you get certain games like a Baldur's Gate, or hell, even I don't really want to count Black Myth because China is a primarily PC fan base. So Black Myth sold 20 million on PC. But just because you have more doesn't mean you have a bigger number of people that want to actually buy the game you're putting out. And I think that people are finally starting to realize that. And just because PlayStation sells 100 million consoles, that doesn't mean they have 100 million people that want to buy your game.
Realist, that's facts, man. And the numbers,
So now,
uh,
real
the
quick, and
numbers
then I'll be done.
saying.
Real quick, and I'll be
Go
done.
ahead. I'm
So
just saying the
now,
numbers do what you're
so
saying.
now, so now, how can you substantiate a number to do a time exclusivity deal? You know what I mean? Because now you got a game like MLB selling more on Xbox than PlayStation, right? You can't really substantiate. You say, oh, they got 65 million consoles over there, and they only got 30. I don't hear any stories about this 15,000 Xbox or 15 million Xboxes sitting up in a warehouse somewhere or in somebody's garage and nobody's playing. You know what I mean? There's so many games that come to Xbox and they find a big audience. Look at Vampire Survivor. You heard anything about that since it's been on PlayStation?
Right.
See what I'm saying? It's like
Oh, that's another one. I'm glad you said that because my
game,
Jensen ass was another. Vampire Survivors was another one.
yeah, games are games, right? Pal
Yeah.
World. You heard anything about Pal World being over there on PlayStation? No. You know what I mean? Because they don't have gamers that are open to playing all types of different experiences, right? They're there to play what they play, and those games never end. And there's a sizable amount of Xbox players like that too. But when a game like those two games comes to Xbox, you see a whole big well of approval for these games, huge audiences for this game. You know what I mean? It would have been interesting to see what Starfield looked like. But I do know that if a game is a flop on Xbox, it's gonna be a flop on PlayStation too. You look at Hi-Fi Rush, it went over there, didn't do
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
CSD sold 1 million, they hyped that up. We ain't
In
heard no
3
number
months.
since.
Didn't do nothing. There you go.
Yeah, but we ain't heard nothing since about Sea of Thieves.
Nope.
I'm surprised that it did 1 million, honestly. Look at
Okay, hold on.
Look at Helldivers. They sold something. They sold what? 4 million.
Yep. Hold
They
on.
sold
Hold on.
4 million What?
Let's get to J Mac real quick, and you can keep on cooking, boy. You on it. Listen, J Mac with the support.
Oh yes,
5
support.
USD. PlayStation and their console sale to game sale ratio convinced publishers that they needed their games to go everywhere. You are not enough. Hashtag. You're right, boy. They're not enough. Look, we enjoy, like me and Rilla say, and Games Heroes and Sparrow, we enjoy the wars. We enjoy the pokes and the jabs and the little slashing we do towards one another because it's just in our nature, the fun of the console wars and the things that it brings. It brings good competition, brings good laughter, good talking points, keeps people from being bored throughout the day. We get it. But at the end of the day, PlayStation fans are not enough when everybody else is. Everybody, you either say, look, you can talk about Xbox not doing as good in the console space, right? And that's okay. But where you don't do so good at, you make the adjustment. Microsoft showed everybody that they can make an adjustment. PlayStation ain't show nobody shit. They can't make no adjustment. That's the problem. That's the problem. They're going to make their situation away from you guys because they realize now that you guys are just a bunch of hot air. While nobody else in the PlayStation company of business would come out and speak the truth about y'all, Mr. Totoki has. And he spoke the truth about the developers of PlayStation.
Toki ain't playing with them hoes.
He ain't playing with none of y'all. You guys
He ain't trying to get fired.
Facts. They've been over here fanboying so hard that he said, you know, I love their passion, but they just don't know how the business is supposed to be ran. That shit was funny when he said that.
Well, Legal, they do know the business though, Legal. It's just that there's only one way to do that type of business, right? Going back to what I was saying, I said this real quick. PlayStation didn't have a library of games that brought people to their platform, right? PlayStation gamers didn't start talking about games until PlayStation actually started making games, and that was at the end of the PlayStation 3, right? When you had Uncharted, Last of Us, right? You had what, SOCOM, Mag, all those games that they didn't even play. Now they're asking for PlayStation to bring it back to flop. These people are not gonna drop Call of Duty to play those games. So Sony is not gonna make those games. They were never there for PlayStation games. This is why Xbox can bring out Halo in the face of Battlefield and Call of Duty, because people came for Halo, people came for Gears, people came for Forza, and I guess I can give them credit for GT. Splinter Cell, people came to Xbox. I came for Microsoft. And this is why Xbox fans are. I'm gonna say this. They're better for the platform. Just like Nintendo. Nintendo might. I mean, I don't care if y'all don't like it. They might have the best fans. We're all Nintendo fans because everybody here got a Switch, right? So, and at some point you bought a Nintendo game for $60 or $55 because you ain't get it for 50, right? That's their problem. And I don't think that they're going to be able to remedy it because they've put so much money and so much investment into putting COD in their faces. COD, Call of Duty. That's why Jim Ryan was fighting. Not because they were going to die. It's because, man, this is ours. They started to believe it was theirs. That's their problem. They put so much money into it. Final Fantasy. They started to believe it was theirs. They want to buy all the exclusivity because it's ours, but it's not. It was never going to be. And that's their problem. And they're going to have to find a way. I don't think they can. Because most people are not checking for movie games. It's not that those people don't know how to do the business. They're doing the business the only way it can be done. Those games cost $300 million. No matter what kind of unit you put on it. The only way they can do it is what Sean Layden said. Make them shorter. So, and if you're going to make them shorter, you're going to still charge $70 for them? Sony will try. Because we've seen from the leaks that they're going to try to sell it in 3 parts for $50 for Spider-Man 3. They know how to do business. That's just the only way it can be done. Sony chose the wrong way to go about things for sustainability, since everybody says the Game Pass isn't sustainable. The only way it would be sustainable is if people were actually buying the games. People actually bought PlayStations looking forward to those games. And okay, there are some people, but more than the people that are looking for those games. All right. All right, man. I'm done.
Come on, man. Look at this
Xbox
man.
is winning.
Come on. Look at that
I'm
real.
done.
Realist,
I'm
you
done, man.
good?
Yeah, I'm done, man. I'm done
He
because
is
All
finished with the
hey,
ponies.
that was even longer than I wanted to. I just wanted to make it clear. I didn't
He
want to
needs
leave it.
help.
I just want to bulletproof what I'm saying because I don't want nobody, especially guys like Cygnus, to come in and try to say something, and they'll be like, "What the fuck is this dude talking about, man?" But anyway, yeah, I'm done with that.
but damn
11 more
shame.
days. 11 more days for the Sony exclusive on Game Pass. 50% off. Get your hands on Death Stranded. Very beautiful atmospheric game. Enjoy it. Next game
Man,
coming up from PlayStation. It's
you,
gonna be another one. I believe we're gonna have Zero Dawn Aloy joining the crew as a time exclusive towards us.
you mean
Hey,
that Lego
Fidel J,
game?
come on in, man. Sin, come on in, bro. Make yourself at home, brother.
Hey,
Haven't
hey,
seen you
Spark.
around in these daggum streets, but I noticed you turned a curve and hit this block, man, over here on Di-RRec Gaming. So it's good to have you, man. Salute, bro. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Sit
Hey,
back, grab some popcorn, kick your feet up, man.
hey, Spark.
Jago
You
6
talking
said,
about
I
you talking
just
about
got
the
back.
big
What
one or
did
you
I
talking
miss?
about Lego?
No,
Oh,
no, the
man,
real one, the
you
the
missed Realist
actual the
cooking, bro.
actual non-Lego one, the actual game.
Oh
Uh,
man, you think so?
I think so. All of these games, like you
Quake is a
said,
beautiful
they're gonna
game.
be timed exclusive now, man. That exclusivity stuff is dead. Bro, play on your favorite console and whatever, like Halo's exclusive to Xbox, God of War. I don't know what. To be honest, I take God of War back. I don't even know what's like the mascot of PlayStation, whatever they have
They
for
don't.
that.
They don't have a mascot, right?
Nothing.
Their
There's
mascot.
Stat
Their
Boy
mascot is
left.
something that they don't control. Their mascot is Spider Man, and see, and that's why I give them props for giving Astro Boy a chance, right?
Yeah, he gave a that's what
Astro
I
Boy.
just for the same.
I give them props for giving them a chance. The same reason why like with Xbox dudes like, oh no, you're not defending PlayStation. No, I'm not defending PlayStation, but I see how screwed up that they have been. That they got to get
They're
people playing these games somehow, some way. This is why you're gonna get 5 different remasters of these games. Every
Yup.
generation, every console upgrade, you're gonna get a Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War upgrade. Why are they bringing back the Why are they bringing back the old God of War? Supposedly, that's the rumor. They're bringing back the old God of War. Why?
Jesus.
Because they
Yeah.
need people to be there for these games, man.
Also,
They need to know that when they drop these games, people are there for these games. They don't have that.
okay, well, I'll give you
They
that.
selling refurbished
Hold
games
on,
too.
I got the answer to that, really. Right? I got the answer to that. Once again, our man of the hour, He told everybody. He said it himself. We got to bring these old IPs out and get returns back on them. So, realist, what did that mean? That mean all this time, these games never brought the money in. And what did he say? The only games that they know the PlayStation fans are going to come to play are these types of games. He says, so these are the games we're going to throw back out there for these returns, AKA profits. Because if we bring something out like Concord, look what happens.
But see,
Look
that's
what
another
happens.
thing. I'm glad you brought up Concord,
Come
bro.
on.
See, with Sony trying to get into this live service game,
Mhm.
they picked the one game, the one lane that they can't copycat.
Right.
See, Sony people give credit to Sony for whatever reason. I don't know what. I don't know what Sony innovated on. Right? People bring up the Dual Sense. That's not theirs.
Right.
Like there's I can't think of anything that Sony brought besides a DVD player. Right?
That's all
Like
they did. And the
as it
remote.
pertains to gaming, what did they bring? So they normally follow. They normally try to do what everybody else is doing. Right? Xbox did it too from the move going forward. Oh, man, hold on.
The only generational success Sony had was with the PlayStation 4, and that's it. And they flopped, man. Legal, realist.
Yeah, I told y'all. Hold on, real quick.
Oh.
But yeah, they picked the lane that they couldn't fight. They couldn't copycat on. I thought y'all pick up for me, but anyway, they tried that with Concord, right? With the live service game, you need to have a huge staff, and they need to be ready. They need to be able to put content out quickly. So when it came to Concord, they saw Overwatch. Takes them what 8 years later to finally copy Overwatch. By the time they bring out their game, Overwatch is dead. So what Sony's going to have to do is be creative. They're going to have to be an originator in the space. They can't follow what they see going on in the market. But that's the market that they're trying to get into, and I think that's a market that's going to probably kill them. Not like make them go out of business, but it's going to hurt them. It's going to continue to hurt them. You look at what they did. Honestly, I would have probably put a halt to Marathon once I saw the success that Helldivers was having. So they're getting ready to put out another extraction shooter on top of an extraction shooter that they already put out that was a success. Now the difference is Helldivers is not everywhere, and Marathon will be. But Helldivers should have been everywhere. Sony's also trying to do live service with exclusivity. See, Microsoft ain't that stupid. They're not gonna put out a live service game just to keep it on theirs. You know what I mean? I mean, they did it with Sea of Thieves, but Sea of Thieves wasn't always a finished product. You know what I mean? That was basically like a early access for a while. Halo will probably never go over there. Gears should never go over there. I wouldn't mind seeing Forza go over there because then GT they wouldn't. See, this is another thing. If PlayStation's gonna put out games and then Xbox puts out games to kill their games, where does Sony go from there? This is why you PlayStation fans should stop rooting for Xbox games over there, because it'll come to a point to where y'all looking for your fan base. You might be the biggest supporter of God of War, Horizon, and all these other games, but the mass populace of PlayStation owners, they don't care. They're looking for the next Doom. They're looking for the next Indiana Jones. That's what they're there for, and that's not good for PlayStation. But y'all keep rooting for Xbox games to go over there, man. Where the hell is
Hey,
Legal going?
that side. Welcome to Di-RRec Gaming, man. I haven't noticed you in these streets, brother, but you made this turn on this block. And we want to say, kick your feet up, man. Grab some popcorn and enjoy the show, brother. It's good to have you in here. Nah, realist and Spar 117, I agree with both of y'all, man, and the chat pack. We all know what it is, man, but somebody has to say it. You know what I'm saying? These Skittles taste so good, bro. Man. But somebody
Bro, I had to put my phone on mute because I was about to make some noise, man. Both of y'all was gone, man. Spartan's like, hey, Legal, realist. I said, man, I said, hold on.
My bad,
Because
man.
I knew what I was about to do was gonna be loud. Oh shit, man.
I was just getting the atmosphere ready.
Yeah, no, man, it's facts. Everything you said is facts, man.
Man, I don't be lying, man. I don't need no affirmation, homeboy. But I do know these boys need to get their minds right and stop hoping for these Xbox games if they really love their platform. If they really love PlayStation. If they really love what PlayStation stands for, which to me is nothing, but I don't know. I'm looking for a fan to tell me what they love so much about PlayStation. It ain't the games. It might be the games for that fella. Whoever says it might be the games for them. But the majority of people aren't there for PlayStation games. Like I said, I can give some of these dudes on the internet. The people that waste their time in podcasts, the people that waste their time on Twitter. You're a hardcore gamer. You know what I mean? I've been playing Call of Duty with my niece, who's on PlayStation, and my nephew who's on PC. We party up and we play, right? And to listen to normal gamers, it's a totally different conversation, man. Like they not talking about none of the stuff we talk about. They don't care about the games we talk about. Now my niece, she likes Last of Us, but she don't care nothing about anything else. She never touched Ghosts. I'm like, you ain't no real pony. Like, what you doing? What you doing? Like, what? Like, why y'all swear off Xbox? You know what I mean? Because I told him, I said, man, y'all gonna get a Series S, man. Y'all can't get a PlayStation. You get a Series S. Y'all gonna play Call of Duty on Xbox? You can play Fortnite on Xbox. You know, but that's what they do, and that's the problem. See, we can't look at it in terms of us hardcores. We different. We different. You know, the hardcores pretty much we buy games. We know we ain't have time to play. We see games just because it's a good deal. We buying them. You know what I mean? We're different. But when it comes to the platform, that's Sony's problem. Sony's gonna have to figure out a way to get the people that they sold on Call of Duty and Fortnite to play something else. All these special map packs and all this money that they wasted to get exclusive content to make their gamers feel special. None of that's gonna benefit them in the long run. They spent all that time building up Call of Duty for Microsoft to come in and say, "Thank you, bitch." Microsoft
Yep.
basically going on PlayStation right now, going in their house, kicking their feet up, and drinking their beer. That's what's
Yep.
happening right now. That's what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a dude. You know, he just got off from work. Dude sitting on his sofa, sitting on his sofa, drinking his beer with his feet on the coffee table. But he paid the rent. That's what the gal told him. You know what I mean? That's what's going on with them. But they gotta take it. Cause what else they gonna do?
Look, and shout out to Jax82, man. We ain't seen you around in these streets, but you made a turn on this
Yeah.
block, man, on Di-RRec Gaming. So we hope that you make yourself at home, kick your feet up, grab some of this popcorn, man. As someone who plays everywhere, PlayStation needs to make new content. And let me say this, Jax82, because I've always been an advocate of no gamer has to validate what they do. That's something that's a law on Di-RRec Gaming. If you speaking the truth, Jax 82, it doesn't matter what you own. Speak truth. Who can? If you just had if all you had was a Sega Genesis, I wouldn't care. As long and you played in the arcades today, I wouldn't care. As long as you know that you can speak truth about gaming, that's all that matters. So don't ever feel like you have to validate what you own to any of us, because we
Well,
don't care about that. All we care about truth. And I've already read your comment. It's truthful, so I'm gonna read it out loud.
but see, the problem legally is they gotta qualify the statement, right? Because it kind of builds some type of credibility. But if a person's gonna receive it, they're gonna receive it either way, or they're not.
Fact.
But PlayStation and new games, how are they gonna bring out new games if the old games didn't sell?
That,
Right? Now they brought out Helldivers, but PC carried that. Look at Concord. Look at what they just tried to do with Astro Bot. So
right,
let's say they bring out something new and it's a dud.
right,
I mean, what type of budget are we talking about?
right.
Like, what's the name of that game that like that anime Japanese game that God dog it, I can't remember it. But the girl fighting, it's on the tip of my tongue now. But anyway, people are asking for them to bring it back. But if it sold back when they were making it, they
You talking
wouldn't be
about
need.
Naramata?
They, no, and it's a PlayStation game.
Oh,
Man, I
I don't
can't
know.
think of it, man. I can't. But anyway, it's a game. It's a game that they keep asking for them to bring back. They keep asking for them to bring a lot of these games back. It's like they're not going to bring out new games because new games come with too much risk. You
Right,
look at Bethesda. Bethesda, 25 years is the space of time between Starfield, right, and the new IP from them. It doesn't happen often.
Was it Gravity
When-
Rush?
Gravity Rush.
Okay. But hold on, realers. Let me read this real quick. Jax82 says, as someone who plays everywhere, PlayStation needs to make new content. Enough of the remakes and remasters of the same games. Xbox has variety, great
But
services,
that's you read
deals on
that.
games and Game Pass. Facts.
Didn't you read that already?
Because
Because
I thought
that's what I was
you kept
responding to.
cutting me off, bully.
No, I didn't cut you off.
Yes,
Anyway,
you did.
no, I didn't. Look, man. Look,
Yes, you did.
it's hard to bring out new IP. What new IP has Nintendo brought out?
Facts.
You know what I mean? ARMS. But ARMS was a success, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't happen often because there's so much risk. People go to what they know. PlayStation is not in a position to be dropping duds. They just dropped a $400 million dud. So that they gotta recoup that from somewhere. Some say it's through the PS5 Pro. I don't know. You know what I mean? Some people say that the remasters are how they were gonna recoup the money because they're selling a game that was just on sale for $9.99 for $50. I don't know how they're gonna do it or if that's what the purpose is. But what I do know is that they can't. They're not. This is why I'm saying they're broken right now. They're broken. Like the only thing I think you should be able to count on them for is if they can rent some IP, which is why they're going all in on Marvel, right? Supposedly they have an X game in the works, Spider-Man universe. It's supposed to be a Venom game. That's about all I think they have the confidence in. I don't think that they have the heart to put out a brand new IP. I just don't. It's going to be tough. I mean, that's why I'm saying if you're a real PlayStation fan, you might want those things, but you should know why you're not going to get these things.
Naughty
You know what I
Dog
mean?
is coming out with the
Fair,
last
hey,
of the
fair game. But he said he don't want live service.
Naughty Dog is
Fair,
coming out with the Last of Us Part 3.
but see, Last of Us Part 3, if they do it right, it'll be fine.
If they're making a new IP expected to come out in another 10 years. If
Didn't
I'm
they
wrong,
like
I'm wrong.
what
If
happened
I'm
to
wrong, I'm
Marathon?
wrong.
Marathon just died right after announcement. They
Oh
destroyed
yeah,
Bungie.
bro, it was like 20,000 people on that video, man. Where they were showing it, the recent video. But that's why I'm saying when I talk to PlayStation fans, I talk about what a new IP at, right? Where your strategy games at.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, we don't play those. They try to discount games like Age of Mythology, which is a remake, or Age of Empires coming to console. You know what I mean?
Big money. Yo, realist. Sony put out more consoles than they have video first-party games, man.
I saw that.
What they doing out here,
I saw that a couple days ago on Twitter, and I had enough time to analyze it, and it's true.
It's true.
Because there's like seven PS5 revisions before they got to the Slim.
Yup.
And then now you have the Pro. So I mean, but look, this is why they're in that sunken place, man. And if you're a PlayStation fan, I don't know. I mean, you can go cry about it, you can go get mad about it on Twitter, but I don't think it's gonna change much.
Nope.
They're not in a position to be ambitious. They've been risk averse for years. Right? They take bets that they think are winners. That's why they try to do timed exclusivity. That's their way of getting around no games. They don't have any games coming out. They go try to do a bunch of timed exclusivity.
Right.
When they get games like Stray, that's how you know that they're not in a good place.
Right.
You know what I mean? Look, I kind of do believe that they did something with Wukong. Right, but the Wukong didn't move mountains either. Not on console.
Not on console.
You know what I mean? So then you have what is it, Pearl Abyss? They try to get it. They try to get the game from Pearl Abyss. They tell them no. What benefit is in it for anybody at this point? Especially a publisher or a studio that has enough money to do their own publishing. Now Sony is reduced to being a vulture. I feel bad. I feel bad for guys because he seems like a grounded PlayStation fan. You know what I mean? He's like, he wants new IP, he wants this, but I
Hey,
don't
yo,
see that.
shouts to all
I
the
don't see
real
that
play.
coming from PlayStation.
Hey, yo, shout out to PlayStation fans who are still holding on to the what you call it, the tire in the back trunk, the spare tire. Shouts to y'all, man, because y'all, I mean, I can't help it. It takes a lot of dedication to do what y'all are doing nowadays, man. Shouts to the PlayStation fans who are down to the spare tire now, man. Shouts to you, bro. What did Cygnus say? That's Yoshida's team making third-party exclusivity for any type game. Yeah, well, I mean, can you blame him? He's
But
got
that's
to
what
try
they.
to do something, man.
But that's what they had to do.
He's got to try to do something. I mean, I don't see so. Look, ain't that the reason for your state of plays? Aren't they nothing but a bunch of indie type games you see for about 20 minutes? They give you look. I don't understand, man. I just don't understand it. If Microsoft brought out a new console and they showed that thing for 9 minutes, I know I'm in trouble. You just got to know right off the bat you in trouble because stop, realist man. Stop, fam. You just got to know you in trouble. There's nothing. How can you be so proud of something and reveal it for only 9 minutes and think that you're really proud about it? I don't understand
Bro,
that. I mean, what'd you say, really? Hey, what'd you say? Yeah. You going in and out. Yeah, they didn't even show the specs. Exactly.
Can you hear me? They didn't show the specs. They didn't show anything. They just gave them marketing terms.
Right.
Big 3, pisser. Like they didn't tell them anything. Oh, your games will be upgraded. So you know what I mean? Like since when we started buying hardware without knowing what the about? They don't even Sony don't even do that.
Man.
Earphones and headphones.
Right.
No,
No,
they knew that there was a group of people that were going to buy it no matter what.
Right. J-Max says the gaming space has outgrown PlayStation, and no one seems to want to talk about. No Diddy, but they scrambling and scraping. No, for real. It is what it is. Signa says, once you try Wagyu state of gaming PlayStation, you can't go back, man. You wildin'. Look, man. We here salute those who stand tall on their preferred platform or preferred platforms, or just simply, like my man said earlier, enjoy gaming where you're at. But at some point in time, you got to realize when you're being shafted. You got to realize when you're being bamboozled. You got to take a stand for yourself because gamers aren't stupid. We're not stupid. But we're in an era where you got a lot of people talking and they're really not playing these games. You got a lot of people who are just video content creators and all they care about is getting money from you. You got people who all they want to do is have these magical social media wars with other people. And what I'm trying to say is, for the most part, whatever it is that they're doing, majority of it has nothing to do with gaming. And that's bad because we've allowed things like that to exist. But that only exists for people who don't game. Real gamers are not on those platforms. That's just facts. We're in an era where people rather watch people play games than to play games themselves. So there's a populace that shows heavy on the PlayStation side that this might be a true space in the PlayStation fan base because we're not seeing it being reflected in sales. I don't know, I don't know what they expect Sony to do. Phantom Blade Zero is something that's coming in 2025. It looks decent. It looks like a traditional PlayStation game. It looks decent. I don't know how long it's going to be, how short it's going to be, but it fits the PlayStation criteria. I just think that that game is not something that the world gravitates to.
But legal, if you look at that game, right?
Yeah.
Because you see Xbox people crying about why Xbox didn't get it.
Uh-huh.
Because they cry about every game the Xbox don't get. Right? And
Right.
these are supposedly Xbox talking heads.
Right.
But that PlayStation didn't pay for exclusivity with that game. They don't have enough money to put the game everywhere.
Right.
And so people were like, oh, Microsoft should give them some money. Microsoft put their money behind Wu Chang.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's another Souls game, that Phantom Blade, right? Or another like Wukong type of game. I watched the gameplay of it. So if Microsoft saw the game and said, "Nah, we're good," don't you think they have
There's a
people
reason.
that their procurement team has some type of insight and says, "Nah, we're good. We'll wait for y'all to sell enough to put it on Xbox." Our gamers should have plenty to play. Like, look, people were crying about Wukong for 2 weeks.
Right.
You hear anything else about Wukong? It came and went.
Yep.
The only reason why people were talking is because of the big numbers that it was doing, and those numbers was on PC.
Yep.
But yeah, you talk about Phantom Blade, bro. Phantom Blade, I think Phantom Blade, they showing the best of it. I think that Xbox saw the game and said, "Nah, we're good on that." But PlayStation got holes in their lineup, so they're open to take anything. They're open to take anything. They're open to pay for just about any game that comes out that looks like they might need some help getting the market and pay for exclusivity. But a lot of these, it's like it's to the point to where only a desperate company is gonna take these deals.
It's almost like Sony has been so notorious for doing backdoor businesses and shady practices that it's normal. Anytime we hear PlayStation doing these things, nobody really takes heed to it because it's normal. But I guarantee you, if Xbox was doing this stuff, it would be all that we hear day in and day out. And that's what, for me, people always ask me, what is it about PlayStation with me? I never liked it. It isn't something that I just felt like I needed to buy the system and play them games on it. I never liked it. I always looked at PlayStation as a gimmick. When it first came out, I made fun of it. Like I said, it looked like something you wear around your waist. It looked like a CD player that you put around your waist back in the 90s, J-Mac. What was those little, not the Walkmans, but the other things. I forgot what we called them. But you remember those it looked like little pouches where you wore it around your waist. They wore it around their waist and they played their music in it. I forgot what that was called. But that's what the PlayStation console looked like to me, man. And I always made fun of it. And, it's not that I never played on a PlayStation. I just never saw my money going into that brand. And it had to do with the early days of it when we used to have the magazines and they used to do the interviews and people used to do their investigations and report back, that you find out that Sony wanted to use Crash Bandicoot to destroy Mario. Now, I come from the console wars where we looked at Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario as just two great competitors of fun, and which one could actually outsell each other. Okay, thanks, Signal. Discman. Yeah, that was it. The Discman. We never looked at it as if Mario needed to kill off Sonic and Sonic needed to kill off Mario. We never thought like that. So when I saw that, it didn't rub me right. And then as years go by, and you see how Sony likes to practice on keeping games off of other platforms, or you read the magazines or the articles, and you see their fans talk about this is going to be a killer of an Xbox game, killer this, killer that, and they really don't have a good track record because for every game that they say is going to kill something, that game flopped. That game is no longer around. That game is struggling. So it's like when I see PlayStation deliberately allow their fan base to get hacked with no security infrastructure, when you read reports about them knowing that this thing had happened and it took them a week to report to their fan base, it only tells me they don't give a shit about y'all. But they know you guys are too damn dumb to realize that. They know that. This is why they were able to shaft you again. You're over here capping for them, but they're shafting you as to why they got a lawsuit. Yeah, the fanny pack. That's it. That was it. Yeah, the fanny pack, Google. Yo, Google, thanks, man. That's what it was. I remember that now, the fanny pack. Shout out to Dr. Vodka. What's up, fam? He says, Sega ads has Sonic left his footprints on Mario's hat on the ground. Right. Good stuff like that made you laugh, stuff like that made you go to school and talk about it. Because you knew if you was really into Mario, you knew what was going to get them upset about that. Exactly. But we never looked at things like it should go away. You know, we knew that there was great competition and we just wanted to be a part of it. But there's something different about Sony. There's something different about them. It's like they're stuck into this mindset of allowing people to make these narratives that they really want to kill off a game. But it's only because they're the ones that started off like that. And to see my PlayStation fans get shafted blindly, it bothers me because they have a passion for PlayStation, just like I have a passion for Xbox. That's what we have in common. But what I'm not going to do is just be a blinded Xbox gamer. I criticize Microsoft on some things I think they should do better on. I'm not blinded. It's not like everything that Microsoft does with Xbox, I'm all for it no matter what, and we just keep our mouth shut around here. No, man. And PlayStation fans shouldn't be like that either. The thing is, you guys are so scared of somebody outselling y'all that y'all rather just be quiet and think that if y'all don't say nothing, you don't put no stress on Sony, and therefore things will be what it is. But no, man, look, have some confidence about yourselves. Speak out. Do some things differently when it comes to your gaming practices, and things might get better. Because as of right now, Sony's abandoning y'all. Y'all are not good enough. Sony's going to have to make moves. And now the PlayStation platform is going to become a service platform in which, like I said, you're going to have to make up your mind on why you are a PlayStation fan now, because things are about to change for you guys. And the way you already showed how you would do with something like Concord is not a positive light for Sony. So they're going to do some more things. They're going to try to do some more things. And if you guys continue to fail Sony because they're doing something different, the future is not going to be bright. Because nothing that Sony is putting out is sticking. Not even like their TVs are doing pretty decent, only because they gave that up to Samsung. Everything that they did from the laptops all the way down to their Walkmans, just has failed them. It's just the stuff that they're doing from their VR to their handhelds is just not sticking. Now it's to their video games, just not sticking. And y'all are in y'all second year of this. We're going into 2025. I don't know how y'all think Sony's supposed to keep holding up for y'all. J-Max says the differences in the platform culture is the reason one struggles and the one shines. The more people push the wagon, the harder it rolls. Can't do it alone. That's correct. If you just sit there, not push that wagon, don't expect great things to happen. Poe says, I like Sony more if they just had a better PlayStation Plus. Like, why they don't put first part? Okay, that's a good question on their sub. It doesn't even have to be day and date. Okay, here's why. I'm glad you asked that, Poe. And I hope you asked that with a genuine, sincere mindset. Because here's why. When you make a platform based off a single player experience like Sony has, and you make a service the service is built with the intentions of engagement. Now, notice what I said, Poe, engagement. If you put out a first-party game, how are you supposed to gain engagement on it? You see what I'm saying? And the game is supposed to have legs, meaning that it's supposed to last throughout the years. So Microsoft has a collection. I'll give you examples. Halos, Gears of Wars, Minecraft, Call of Duties, et cetera, right? Where there's a community that still stays there and plays those games as a community. There's engagement in there. So it gives quality to the service as to why they can make something like a Game Pass and then put their first-party games in there. They didn't make Game Pass first. They made Game Pass second, right? Because they have enough first-party games that have engagement on them. The key word is making sure you got engagement. The thing is, when you look, you can go right now, right, and look up the most played games on Xbox. In that top 20, you're going to see Forza and Halo. You're going to see those two. You're going to see Minecraft. You're going to see Minecraft. You're going to see Sea of Thieves. And you might, of course, Call of Duty, but I'm just saying, the ones that you think, because you're already going to know Call of Duty's going to be there. I'm just talking about the ones that you think won't be in that top 20, they're in there. And they're holding strong. Oh, I'm sorry, Starfield. Starfield was just in the 12th spot. But when you go over there to PlayStation, you don't see their games. That's why. And Sony knows, because they made the comment already. We just can't do it. It just won't work for us. Putting our first party, making a service and putting our first party games on it just won't work for us.
Legal.
So, go ahead, Rose. You gonna say something?
The reason why it won't work for PlayStation is because PlayStation doesn't have a catalog.
Facts.
Right?
They gotta have a catalog.
Remember, I told you earlier. It wasn't until the PlayStation 3 that they actually started thinking or really, I guess, being in the mind share mainstream with their games. Right? When Last of Us, Uncharted, right?
Right.
They don't have a catalog big enough to sustain a service, right? And they don't have I ain't gonna say they don't have the money because they're trying to buy time exclusivity, but they're not willing to pay for the newer content to get in there, right? They will from time to time, but they don't have a catalog big enough. And if you're making $300 million single player games that you can play and end in a weekend, what are people gonna do? They're going to subscribe for a month and then they're going to cancel it. And Sony can't afford that. Whereas Microsoft, yeah, right? Because you said engagement. Engagement, I guess that's implying, multiplayer games. But when you look at what Microsoft has, they have newer third-party games along with first-party games. And it's starting to heat up now, right? Now, Stalker, we don't know what to make of Stalker, but Stalker's going to be in there day one, right? You're going to have Indiana Jones in there. Call of Duty was just in there. The Age of Empires games for people on PC and hell, it's on the Xbox too, right? And then you have a Vow that was pushed back. Then you have the little Louisiana girl, Mississippi girl. What's that? South of Midnight. Right? You got to have something to keep people subscribed. PlayStation's games take 5 to 7 games to put out. So you're going to spend $300 million. It's going to take 7 years, 8 years of development, and then put it out there for people to just pay you $20 or $25, whatever they're going to charge for their subscription service, and cancel at the end of the month. Because that's what I would do. Because there's nothing, if I'm not subscribed now, and that game brought me there, that's the only reason to stay subscribed. Because pretty much all the games that are in there, you played already. I see PlayStation fans say that about Xbox Game Pass. But that just means that you're overlooking all of the day one games that are in the service. And you're just trying to be silly. PlayStation can't do that. You can't put first party games in there day one. But what they could do, but they have to go back into trying to sell the game. They put it out there. It's like sales. You ever notice how when a game goes on sale, it hits the top of the best sellers? You ever pay attention to that, Legal?
Yeah.
All right. So when you have games that are in the service, it's gonna reach the top of the most played. The people who aren't subscribed may just buy it, but it all goes back to selling the game. Whereas Microsoft is equally committed to as equally committed to their service as they are just selling the game. Full stop. Right? They have a machine going. They have over 35 teams over there making games along with second party or third party games coming, right? Like a Wu Chang, like a what's the name of that game from Tecmo that we played together? Wolong.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like those games, those are games. Like if what's the name of that game that PlayStation just got from Tecmo? Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin would have been in Game Pass. You see what I'm saying? But PlayStation is not in a position to do that. You're gonna have to pay them for sales, and then PlayStation's paying for exclusivity too. So that makes the bill that much larger. But just in the sake of not talking in circles, they just can't. It's just not. It doesn't fit what they have going on now. What they need to do is get more studios is making more games. Then they could have a service, and I think that they were on their way to doing that because of the amount of studios they bought. It's just that those studios haven't put any games out. We haven't seen anything from what do they call Bluehole or whatever they call it, the people who made uh Demon Souls, right? Housemark, they should be having something going. Like, but you gotta have those studios being able to pump these games out in a timely manner to the point to where people will stay subscribed and wait for their next game. And Sony can't. That's their problem. Not engagement. They don't even have engagement games. Like engagement is their number one problem. Multiplayer. I've been saying this for years because Xbox players been saying Xbox needs to do games like PlayStation. I'm like, no, PlayStation needs to do games like Xbox. Holler back when PlayStation gives you a game that gives you a single player mode along
Speak
with a
on it.
multiplayer mode. This is what I was saying. I've said this already though. Like, because people don't put respect on Gears and Halo. Gears came with I'm sorry. Halo Infinite this generation came with a polished campaign and a polished multiplayer. Now it's the live service, which I don't play live service. Like I'm not into that. I don't buy battle passes. So to me, it was outstanding, right? But if you are into that, it failed. But as a Halo game, a traditional Halo game, it was missing some modes, but the modes that were there were good and they worked. But engagement is what PlayStation is trying to do with their service games. Like when they bring out, look at what's the name of that game, Returnal. Returnal came out, it didn't have a co-op mode until like a year later. Same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. Legends came out like a year afterwards. So PlayStation in their pipeline they need work with the multiplayer side. Like we've been looking down on, not we, but I'm talking about us as a collective, have been looking down on Xbox all these years when Xbox has been giving you the most complete package. Xbox is the only one that was giving you games that can compete with COD. Because even Battlefield took away the campaign. You know what I mean? COD tried it too. Halo always gave you a campaign in a multiplayer. Gears, Forza, they've both done it. They've all done it. You know what I mean? If there's a multiplayer game from Xbox, it's gonna come with a campaign. PlayStation doesn't give you that. And the media has let them get off with that. They've been praising them for giving them single player experiences that are dead in a week. And now you look at Sony, they were eating those Game of the Year awards up. But like I said, you can't play Game of the Year awards, and obviously those Game of the Year awards didn't make Sony no money. All right, man, I'm done.
With that, we're going to end the show. Shout out to Squad 117. Shout out to the realest one. Shout out to the chat pad. Shout out to Di-RRec Gaming for being back, man, with a new makeover, man. Shout out to the whole entire Xbox community and the gamers all around the world who stand tall for what they know and speak the truth, man. Shout out to the whole gaming industry that works their butts off to bring games that we love to play on whatever platform it is that you love to play your games on. But much kudos to Microsoft and what they're doing for not just devs, but gamers abound. Shout out to the greatest gaming service in the world called Game Pass, the gold standard, highest level tier of gaming services for consoles. Shout out to the never-ending supply of games that were just overwhelmed. Shout out to shadow dropping. Shout out to shadow dropping. Shout out to the direct shows that Xbox do and all their events that they do and they're a part of, because Microsoft's the only one that's continually doing it. Shout out to the streets and the gaming communities out here. But listen, man, as y'all know, where y'all can find me at, man, is right here and on my Xbox. I mean, the new legal is my game attack. Yeah, I play games in other spots, but you're not going to find me if you don't put in the new legal on my Xbox. Just the way it is. Spar 117, let them know where you at, man.
You can catch me right here on Di-RRec Gaming, right in the back.
Realest one, let them know where they find you at, man.
They can find me here, man, on Di-RRec Gaming. Don't look for me on Twitter, man. I'm like, it could. I'm about to cancel it at any moment, man.
No, don't do that, man.
Bro,
hold strong, baby.
It's very little. There's very little good conversation to be had on Twitter, man.
There's no conversation on Twitter.
You know what I mean? It's like, like people just say dumb things to get a reaction or likes because they know the opposition is just gonna like it no matter what. I joined Twitter to meet gamers and talk about gaming. I don't hate PlayStation. I don't hate PlayStation gamers, man. If you love PlayStation, just tell me why. You know what I mean? That's what I always say. Just tell me why you love PlayStation. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I don't need to hear about how much you hate Xbox. You know what I mean? I don't hate PlayStation. I just see the flaws. You know what I mean? We can acknowledge that Xbox has not been doing a good job at selling consoles, but you bought a console to play games, and I see a huge roster of games on the horizon. You know what I mean? And if I'm gonna buy a console to play games, I'm gonna buy. Hell, if I love Mario and Luigi, I'm gonna buy a Nintendo because I'm gonna get plenty of that, or Pokemon. You know what I mean? That's why I don't play the Switch. You know what I mean? I play the Switch when Zelda comes out. But yeah, that's why, bro. It's just very little conversation to be had on that app, man. So just find me here, in 3 weeks when we have another show.
Yeah, the clown.
We right here on Di-RRec Gaming, man.
But right here, the hurricane isn't coming, man. We dodged that, but we got another rain of snow. Well, not snow, but hopefully not. But we do have another snowstorm in the vicinity, but it might just bring a bunch of thunderstorms. But everybody be safe, man. Listen, everybody keep it gaming. Don't let nobody take the one up in your life, man. Everybody deserves a second chance, bro. And gaming is about showcasing. Either you're gaming or you're not. It's just that simple, people. This is Di-RRec Gaming, man. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and share the content, man. Leave some comments below, but do whatever you feel, bro. In the meantime, we're going to get up out of here. I want everybody to be safe. Get out there and keep putting out your gaming clips. Get out there and keep playing them games, man. Get out there and keep talking about what you like about these games on Xbox, and just keep it all about gaming. At the end of the day, we are here to just discuss, have a good time, kick back with the community, get some laughs, get some great talks in, and that's it. We keep it simple over here. In the meantime, we're going to keep celebrating the Kryptonite Squad over here, and I hope to see y'all next time, and it won't be no 3 weeks, man. We out of here. Peace.
It sounds like you're going to say next week.